Oh, buddy, what is going on? We have some big freaking news coming up very soon. This is Tuesday, Show Me the Money Club, live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Right now, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. You can catch us there every Tuesday. Not necessarily Rumble, but we're working on it. We're trying to get a couple more places so we can get a larger reach. Try to reach more audience members, especially rideshare drivers and food delivery drivers out there. So welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We got a good show. We're going to do a rundown in just a few moments. But Sergio, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. You know, but as they say in my neighborhood, we're kicking ass and taking names. That's what we're doing. So you guys
Nice.
will figure that out in about half an hour. Yeah.
Well, that little article that came out that you were on the newscast segment that was out yesterday.
I was on TV, cool. Bro. I was on TV.
Yeah, you were in studio. When does that happen? That doesn't happen.
I got makeup.
Ever since COVID, everyone's like, "Oh my god, lockdown."
No, seriously, so, actually, the studio. I got makeup. I had done this before, but this was like a lot of makeup this time. I must be getting older because I had done it like before the pandemic. Now this one is like a lot of makeup, so I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Oh, Salim is here. The hater is here. You know, Salim, we have to meet one of these days. We have to meet one. If you're in LA, email me.
Well, either way, yeah, we got a great show. First off, I do see Donnie in here. I got to highlight his comment because we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. But he said, "I'm glad Dara is my best friend now that now thanks a lot to Sergio and Chris. We'll drink it fully together. Can't wait to get started." So we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. So yeah, let's talk about what today's show is. We got quite a bit coming for you. First, we're going to be breaking down our Chicago tests. So last month when I was in Chicago, met up with a few drivers. We're going to be breaking down our Uber and Lyft test because we want to see what both companies are doing when it comes to these upfront fares, when it comes to algorithmic wage discrimination and what's going on there. And yeah, we got some things to talk about both on Uber and Lyft. So it's going to be interesting there. Then we have some big news, real big news. So we're going to talk about that after. So stick around, make sure you watch our test and then our big news after that. Then we're going to be talking about Lyft back to the old tricks. They're not paying for trips that take significantly longer. And I don't know about Lyft's definition of significantly longer, but if you're talking about double the time estimated for the trip, I believe that's significantly longer, especially when you're talking like 1 hour or 2 hours difference. So we're going to be talking about that. Also, Lyft says drivers nationwide are earning $35 per active hour. They always got to throw that active part in there just to bump up the numbers, because when you take in full time or online time, that'll drop probably about a third. So yeah, that's talking about that. Washington, some senators are questioning Uber and Lyft about human trafficking and Uber Teen. So that's a little bit of an interest there that we're going to be talking about. And then also Uber will be starting to show adverts to passengers along the trips. Smart. So when you order your Uber, when you are waiting for your Uber, when you're in the car, and probably when you get out of the Uber, you're going to probably be seeing some ads. So we're going to be talking about that, what it means for drivers, what it means for Uber as a company, and will that help them actually hit the wave of profitability? Well, we'll see. And then we're going to end the show with some feel-good stories, some funnies, and some comments that we saw throughout the week. Yeah. So Sergio, are you ready for today's show?
Born ready, baby.
All right. Well, obviously, we need to thank today's sponsor, Ualett, because they are bringing the show today. So here's a little bit about Ualett.
Are you a rideshare driver who needs extra cash? Meet Ualett. We're a cash advance company trusted by over 90,000 drivers. We help drivers who need cash advances for paying insurance, vehicle maintenance repairs, gas money, and any of your business-related endeavors. We have an extremely fast application process, allowing you to have your money in 24 hours. It's fast, no impact on your credit score, and no credit checks. We approve your application based on cash flow from your rideshare business. Join Ualett today and never worry about being strapped for cash again.
I'm doing
All
it
right,
tomorrow.
so that is nice. So that is Ualett. So again, if you have any car troubles, car maintenance that needs fixing, if you got a bill, anything late due on, check out Ualett. And if you enter Ride 10 special code there, then you will get 10% off of your first deal. And also, here's a fun little thing. So I'm wearing little earplugs here. You should probably see them. If you don't, you don't. But what's interesting about that video is they actually pan the audio from left to right on part of the music. So it's like it starts over on the left side, it goes to the right side, it goes back and forth, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting when you get those weird little things. So if you have headphones or anything, go back and check that out later. So you'll know exactly what I'm talking about at that point.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
are we, by the way, we are giving money today, right?
Yeah, but we're gonna do that in a little while.
No, I'm saying now. I was just wondering if it's in the program.
Yeah, it's in the program, and don't put in hashtag money or SMTMC.
Yeah, don't put anything, please.
It's not open yet. We're gonna do that in a little bit, and you probably are gonna be thrown for a loop. We're gonna give our big news, and then we'll go into our giveaway first. So,
okay.
Or after that. But we're gonna go over our Chicago test from a few drivers. We have 4. No, you haven't. I'm pretty much the only one who actually saw it, besides obviously our drivers in Chicago. First off, I want to thank our 4 drivers who came. They are all cherry pickers. They're all people who are not going to accept every single ride. They are all based in the Chicago greater area. And yeah, it was pretty interesting to see. So we had 2 hybrids in vehicles. When it came down to it, we had 1 Tesla and we had 1 minivan. So we did both an Uber and a Lyft test. There were some significant things when it came to the Uber and Lyft test here. When it came down to it, yeah, I mean, it was very interesting overall. We're gonna show the videos of everything as we went through, or as we were recording. Like I said, we did in the previous ones. Basically, I just made sure all of the videos were exactly in line with each other. So the time is the exact same time. So if you look at the clocks in all of the screens, they all change the minute at the same time. So we can see it in real time as it's happening, all synced up, ready to go. I did stop the video at certain points to highlight the same ride, but different prices, or what's going on there. So we're gonna be talking about that. A couple of things quick to note. And then there is a big asterisk that I'm going to mention at the end of the Uber test, just because I do want to clarify a couple of things there after we go through. But yeah, we saw some changes there when it came to the prices of rides. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as it was in the first 2 tests that we did with Sergio in LA with the 4 drivers, as well as the 2 brothers from the first test, which I did meet the 2 brothers. Great guys. Thank you guys again. Everybody who came out at the Chicago meetup to be able to do this test first off. And I don't know, did I miss anything?
No, I don't know.
All right.
So you know what?
Well,
quickly, can we save that Rami Bahid question, the favorited, for later? Because
which one is step by step?
Yeah.
All right, we'll save that for later. So Rami, we'll get back to you in a minute.
Stick around, Rami.
Yeah, so we are going to go over the test. We're going to do Uber's side of things first. This is where you're going to see 4 phones. So again, the phone on the far left is going to be a hybrid. The phone in the second position from the left is going to be the minivan. The phone next to that on the right side is going to be another hybrid, and then the Tesla is on the final right position. Just so you guys know when it comes in how things are set up. But yeah, it was good to see a couple of differences there when it came to the type of cars that people were having. Like I say, with the minivan versus hybrid versus an EV. So, all right, let's go right in.
Let's see.
Oh, that was one other thing. There is a lot of dings. There's a lot of requests. If you are driving currently, if you have your phone on, if you're watching this in the background, if you are listening to this while you are driving, you are going to hear a lot of Uber sounds. So please be careful and pay attention to the road. Pay attention to your phone when you have the ability to, and know that for the little bit of time, you're going to be hearing a lot of Uber sounds, and then we're going to switch over to the Lyft video. So I just want to pre-warn everybody. Just be careful out there first off. So,
you know, this is from Chicago almost like 2-3 weeks ago, right? So as of yesterday, I had a whole bunch of about a month ago. So the gray clouds, Chris, are in Chicago now, which much sadness.
I think they're pretty much everywhere.
Oh, Serge, look at this. I'm like, shit. There you go. There are your gray clouds. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah. Oh, and when it came down to the phones, everybody had an iPhone except for the one that's already got the trip radar on there, which was an Android. So we were looking to try to see what the difference is, maybe if there was phone, but what we could see was a couple of differences between the app versions that people had and what they were able to see and not see, like certain notifications like top tipper, whether that has any impact on whether you accept a ride or not. That's up to you and what you want to think. But yeah, it came down to the app version that was downloaded or that was allowed for you to download. So yeah.
Okay, suburbs of Chicago, sir.
Yeah. So we weren't in downtown Chicago. We were in Schaumburg at the airport. So right there, right here, what you see, you're seeing the wage differences. You're seeing $793 versus $873. Again, that one on the far right is the Tesla. I thought the rides were supposed. Yeah, I thought the rides were supposed to be $1 difference.
Oh,
so
shit.
Yeah,
Shaving.
Right there. So EV drivers,
shaving cream
might not be getting the full $1 you've been told.
Shaving cream.
Yeah, or they're boosting somebody by 20 cents.
Well,
I don't know.
I know. That looks exactly 80 cents to me.
Yep. Here's another one that came in, and what you can see here. So this is again, this was all around the same time on the trip radar. So you see one with 547, and you see another one that's 1010 with 475 surge. But
this is
if you actually added, if you actually added the 475 surge to the 547, it should actually be 1022, not 1010. So
how come the guy on the left doesn't have the surge?
I couldn't tell you. There were actually
that's a big difference.
So let me tell. Bro. Yeah. Oh, for that ride specifically, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
All right. So this is one of the things that I've noticed, and this is what I saw in Chicago. This is what I saw when we did your tests. This is what I saw also when the two brothers sent us the first time. Surge maps are different. They may be surging in the same spots, but they are showing different prices. Now, why he had 475 attached to it and the other driver didn't, I don't know. But
that's a good question.
We're literally
they're both trip rated.
Huh?
They're both trip rated.
Oh yeah, and you know all the four phones were literally about that far apart from each other because we had all four phones sitting right there in the back of my car as we were doing that. We were all hanging out.
Oh my God, FTC, are you watching this?
Yeah,
this is not kosher. Yeah, that's bad. Wow, holy crap! I got pinged with that one. That's the same trip again. So while they're showing on the other guy's trip radar, this guy's getting pinged for the same trip.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Well, no,
God.
that's different. So you can see there's a couple of different trips here, but so here you go. This again, it just comes through again, and it's still not showing there when it comes to it. So yeah, it's not showing that bonus. So we're not sure why some people are getting surged, but other people are not.
Wow.
So that's something to pay attention to. But right there, you can see what was it? Yeah, just a couple of the trips there that were coming in when it came to the.
So this radars. Guy in the middle is not taking the 1010 trip. Dang. Holy shit. See, this guy has 475 next trip. Nobody else.
Yeah,
does.
but if you look, there's literally no surge right there. So I'm not sure. So we spit it up a little bit. There is a fourth driver coming on, just so you know.
Imaginary surge. Wow.
Here's one for you. When it came to it, so those two top ones right there. Again, 514 to 989. You know, you're seeing the difference again. That 475 surge when there wasn't really any surge there. So who knows what happened? And then look at that delivery down at the bottom. You see that there outside your preference. Delivery to $19.02 for a 52-minute expected trip with 15 miles.
Well, they don't have Prop 22 in California. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trip would have been like $26 in California.
Yeah. So then right here you go. This is the trip radar when it came to both of them. And this was really interesting between the two. Again, the guy on the right is the Tesla. The guy on the left, who's at $5 more, is showing
for the same delivery.
For the same exact delivery, yeah. So
that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 19 is bad enough. Seriously, for a 15-mile trip. Yep. Wow. Yeah, oh my God. Oh.
Yep. So it's not just rideshare, it's food deliveries. So we might have to have Kim and Zach or something go out and do a DoorDash or Uber Eats test on this and see what's going on. So yeah. So right there again, you're seeing that surge attached again that nobody else was getting. 469, 944.
That's the third guy, right? The third phone. So that guy keeps getting the surge, except nobody else is getting it.
Yep, exactly. And to put this into perspective, the T-Mobile, the Android, the one that doesn't have surge, his phone was on recording first. So that's why they came on at different times.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get all the trips because right away they started doing the same trips from the first little bit. So it wasn't like the differences, but yeah, it's interesting to see that and how everything's matching and all of that. Just within those couple of minutes. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
And he was the only one that got it. iPhone users didn't get that until like much later into the test. So I don't know if that's something with Android.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's another one. That was where the 475 was actually the true difference. So what you see, you got the guy who got 325 offered to him, and then the $8 for that one. And that was with the 475, which actually equals out correctly.
I would take that one in the middle with the $8 for 2 miles, 2 point whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, 5 miles. No. Now surge is showing up.
Yeah. Rami, it could be phone discrimination. Both platforms use completely different operating services. So iOS versus here you go.
286.
So this one,
what the
286 to 3, yeah. Same trip.
Wait a minute.
Right
That's
there.
Minimum fare in Chicago in Illinois is 286 now?
I guess so.
Oh my God. What the hell?
That's crazy. And look at that. It's 2.6 miles just to the pickup and then 1.2 mile trip.
Yeah, that's how you make 35 an hour right there.
Yeah. Yeah. On active time too. So the 15 minutes that it would take you, and that's if the rider's actually there waiting. That would be an interesting little thing there. And then you look the 286 to the 386. So right there, that dollar is correct when it comes to the EV versus the non-EV. Ricky Life. Oh no, I'm on Android. Yeah. Hey, there could be some issues when it comes to it. We're gonna have to be able to check into it and see what's going on there.
I'm on Android. I like my Android.
All right, so right here, This is the same trip. So the 325, again, the 8, those were the same. And then it came into our Tesla driver at 390. So again,
Yeah,
where's
where's the
that
dollar?
dollar that's coming in? If you're looking
Mother
at
humper,
325,
bro.
shouldn't it be 425? So no, that's a little off right
See,
there.
that's got to be illegal right there. That's got to be illegal because you're advertising. You get $1 extra. You're not getting $1 extra. False advertising right there.
100%. Well, here's the thing. So I texted the driver when I was going through this, and I said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm seeing." So I was telling him exactly what happened because we noticed it a little bit while we were doing the test. We were looking at him like, "Oh, that's not the dollar difference." And I asked him to go back and actually look at all of his receipts,
Yeah,
and all of the receipts say EV incentive of $1.
exactly. Yeah, it shows
So
up as a
what they're
promotion.
changing, what they're changing is they're changing the base fare to reflect that. So instead of being at $1 more, so let's say an actual ride was $5. Okay,
Yeah,
if you have an EV, it should be 6. What they were doing
yeah.
was they were going in and saying the base fare was 480 plus that dollar incentive to get you to 580 because they were giving you that so quote unquote dollar, but in reality it was 80 cents difference. And
Well, where's
we
the 20
saw that
cents going? Where's the 20 cents times millions of EV trips is going?
exactly. That's the question that I'm
Wow,
really
hold on a
curious
second.
about.
Hold on a second. This is something really important, actually, because I'm just doing an article on this now. Are you really getting your buck out of the EV bullshit that Uber is selling you? So hold on a second. So the one trip, obviously, same trip, same ping, but instead of being an X dollar extra, now was that driver seeing in his promotions? Because EV is credited as a promotion, right, on the weekly breakdown or on your app. So
No,
they are showing him.
It'll show on the actual breakdown receipt. So if he takes a trip in the trip breakdown per ride,
It'll
it'll
say
show
EV, but
EV
it'll cut
incentive
down the base.
$1. Yeah. So here
that's like
again, we'll go back
then.
to the example. We'll go back to the example. Sergio, we don't have EVs. So let's say you and I get a ride request that comes in at $5.
Yeah.
Let's say we're looking at it $5.
Yeah.
Now the driver with the Tesla, you would get something that would pop up that would say 580.
Oh.
And if you go, I had him go in and check all of his receipts and see it showed him EV incentive $1. So you take that back, he would have gotten a base fare instead of the $5 that you and I would have gotten. He would have gotten a base fare at 480 plus that dollar incentive, which would bring it to 580.
So they're doing what exactly they're doing on Surge now with EV credit.
Yep.
Bullshit. Uber.
So basically they're gypping drivers on EV appearingly at about 20 cents per trip. 10 cents we saw 90-cent difference a couple of times. We did see $1 difference on the nose a couple of times. The vast majority of times it was 80-cent difference. So EV drivers out there, you want to pay attention, especially because you're supposed to be getting $1 extra on the trip. Now the asterisk, because we're on talking about this conversation right now, the asterisk is that the driver did say that it appears that has been fixed. So I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know what it is, but either way, that's 20 cents over how many trips, how long that it could have been going on since upfront fares came into practice, maybe a little later. Who knows? I mean, who really knows how long that difference was really happening? But that's something definitely to pay attention to. And if you're in a parking lot with somebody, if you're meeting up with somebody, take your phone out if you have an EV and look at somebody who doesn't have an EV and see if it's a true $1 difference between the same particular rides. Again, that driver did say it appears to be corrected. Okay. So this was an asterisk when it came to the 80-cent difference, but still, that's proof in the pudding right there. There's an 80-cent difference, and it wasn't on one trip. It wasn't on two trips. It was on the majority of trips that we're looking at right now. Okay. So
to be continued. Uber, this is not over. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of.
So again,
Carl,
right here,
thank you, Carl.
Carl, thank you.
Carl.
Appreciate that.
Merci, Ahmed.
Yeah, but if you look at this ride right here, you're seeing 514, again, non-Tesla to 583 with a Tesla. Where's that dollar?
There's your 30 cents or whatever this is. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's 65 cents or something like that. Then, so this is interesting because right now, this is the point where things seemed to be working correctly. So as you saw, all those rides were coming in at 514.
Yeah.
From here on out, it appeared that everything was working around the same. So all the drivers were getting actually pinged around the same price every single time, with the exception of like a penny or two. So here
look
you
at
see
that delivery,
preferences.
bro. What the frick, bro?
So look at
one guy got two people got an extra penny out of it.
Yeah.
What the?
So 221, 222, 221, 222. That was for that one. Then you're seeing
garbage.
If you're looking at the center
the EV
one,
guy again.
Yep. So you're seeing 2614. The other driver got 2614 as well. And then our EV driver did not get 2714. They got 2694. So what is that? Oh yeah, that's 80 cents again.
That's
so
20 cents.
There's
exactly
that 80
20
cents.
Yeah, exactly 20 cents. Yeah, that's the 20 cents we caught him with, like, 6-8 weeks ago. Nickel and diming of Uber math, you know what I mean?
But yeah, what I gotta say, for the most part, it did seem like they corrected.
Yeah, you're right.
The fare differences.
You're right.
So now this is something that was interesting. I just put on the screen. There was a minute 45-second timeout for all drivers. As you saw, the phones were going off, going crazy. Like we turned all the phones on, they were going off crazy. Trip radar was going, ride requests were coming in, and then all of a sudden, not one single ride, not one single request, nothing came in for a minute and 45 seconds from the last that somebody popped up to the next time somebody popped up. So this happened a couple of times, and it was really interesting to see because it just went dead quiet, and we're sitting there, we're like, "What's going on here?" So
either a timeout, either a short timeout, or the network went down, or something happened, because it's impossible for 4 of you not to get a ping for 2 minutes in Chicago. So
especially since it was just going continuously. It was not slowing down except for during these time frames. So that was something really interesting to see too. It just went quiet, like all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding,
and then they start coming in again.
Like, what's going on here? Yep.
Yeah.
And they start coming in.
Just pause 1 second. Susan Koch, email me, Sergio@risherguy.com, please, about your 34 cent adjustment. I'll explain it to you. You should have gotten it by now. If you didn't get by now, you'll have to dig into it, but I'll help you out with it. Sergio@risherguy.com. There we go. Sorry. Okay. All right.
All right. So we actually stopped at the right spot. So as you can see, these drivers were getting this particular ride for $468. Our Tesla owner was not getting it for $568, but $534.
Ooh, so 34 cent haircut on that one.
Yeah. So we're seeing even a little bit more on top of that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting again to come down and see what's going on here.
Wow, that Tesla guy is getting taken for the EV, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the pricing, you're right. The pricing are matching now.
Yep. So this is an interesting take. So first off, it started off where things were a little bit different. After a few minutes in, it looked like it corrected itself. So I'm wondering, algorithms are on the second making all these different decisions.
Oh, that's how they're figured you were next to each other? You think they figured?
I'm wondering if they figured out we're next to each other because it's all the same rides coming in.
You're right.
And then they're like, oh, we got to correct it. I wonder if they have a self-correcting feature in their algorithm. So I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt yet that they fixed everything, because again, if I saw 100% of the rides from start to finish at the same price, I would say, okay, look, it looks like things have been solved. But in reality, there was a discrepancy near the beginning, which makes me think maybe it's fixed, maybe it's not. So this is something, again, we're going to continually watch out for.
your GPS locator gives it up, so they know exactly your side by side, right? Number one.
Could be.
Hey, Thorsten, what's up, buddy? One other question. Everybody's asking, like, the Tesla must be a Hertz rental. No, the guy owns his Tesla. It's not a rental, people. So it's a Model Y. He owns a Model Y, and it's his car. It's not a rental. He's not getting shortchanged.
You look at that
because it's a rental. It's not. I mean, look, anything is possible, but at least we know that is not, because we know the guy. So that's
so either way, it should be he should be getting 568, not 534.
Absolutely.
So they're definitely adjusting the base fares.
That's
because
definitely a lawsuit.
He goes back.
You that if none of this is the FTC, that one false advertising, that's definitely a lawsuit right there.
Because that's the whole thing with
driving. If you get a buck more,
you have no idea what you're getting paid.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
So they can just and this is the same exact thing when it comes to surge. So when you see plus $5 on surge, you're not really getting $5 extra. You're getting $5 added to the base fare that's being reduced.
Yeah.
So that's the big issue there.
Yeah, that's BS.
So again, it was corrected, which was pretty interesting to see. But almost every single time, we're seeing our Tesla driver getting about 80 cents, sometimes less, sometimes 90 cents, one or two times a dollar difference when it really came in. But yeah, you're starting to see now the rides are coming in. They're pretty much about the same. But here you got 760 to 840 for that same trip. It should be 860. There's 20 cents. I mean, think about it. 20 cents for every EV ride that you're giving up. What is it? 100 rides on 20
if you
cents?
do 20 rides a
$20
day,
bucks?
if you do 20 rides a day, bro, I mean, that's $4 a day. That's stupid. On that one, he got gypped only 10
So right
cents.
there is 90 cents. So you got 496 to 586. So that's a 90 cent difference.
So much for the EV idea. Go ahead, get all those EVs.
Yeah,
get a good shaving. They're shaving you guys 10 cents at a time. That's bullshit, though. Man, that we got to look into that.
Just one thing to note for the people who already may have seen these. I just want to reiterate, when it comes to Trip Radar, you're going to see two different things pop up. You're going to see Trip is no longer available. It doesn't mean somebody else takes it. They send out a Trip Radar trip in batches to let's say maybe 20 drivers at a time, and then they'll cycle it through. So if you say Trip is no longer available, that means it technically timed out in your queue, and it'll be pushed out to the next set of drivers. So that trip that you're saying, oh, I can't believe somebody took it, they might not have taken it. They may have a chop around and raise the price or change the price or do something to it in order for it to be taken, or some dumb schmuck did take it.
Well, no, you know when you push on Trip Radar, it goes like round and round and round for like solid minute, because we're matching. No, actually, that's being shopped to another sucker, people. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the only time it's actually given to another driver is when it says another driver matched to this. So when you see that differences on your Trip Radars, that's the difference, just to let you know, because you could really see that trip come back that says Trip is no longer available. We saw that a couple of times. Mike Smith says, do a close audit at your toll reimbursements. They're shaving them too. So when it comes to toll reimbursements, this is actually within the TOS on it. And this is something that you should probably know if you don't. And if you don't know this, then this is good to know. Tolls are not reimbursed at cash value. So if you go through a toll and it says $1, it's let's say got an Easy Pass or Sun Pass or whatever pass you have, and let's say it's 85 cents, you're going to get reimbursed the 85 cents at the pass rate. You're not going to get reimbursed at the cash rate. So please know that. And if you have a pass in your area that you have not signed up for, get a pass so you're not doling out extra money when it comes to tolls.
That's great info, Chris. That's really good info, people. That's amazing info. I don't have, like, there are very few toll roads in California, but I don't have one of the, what do you call those? Like one of the machines or readers, right? But they know my license plate. They charge me. I'm sure more than if you had that little gizmo in your car. And that's a good point, though. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you should look at it, because they actually say tolls are reimbursed based on toll. The toll, it's like on a Easy Pass discrepancy. So if you're going over GWB, and I think it's like $24 to go over GWB right now. And if somebody's in New York, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like ridiculous like that. But Easy Pass, it's like a little bit less. So that could be like a couple of dollar difference each time you go over GWB from Jersey into New York City. So that's just something to watch out for when it comes to these toll roads. So anybody who thinks that they're getting shaved, just pay attention to that. Please get a pass if you have toll roads in your area, or if you're going to be taking anything with the possibility of tolls. So like San Francisco, I know they got a lot of tolls. Chicago has a huge amount of tolls. If you're going on some of the major interstates as well, whether it's like I-76 in Pennsylvania, I-90 in New York, whether you're going on I-90 in Cleveland or outside Cleveland on the other side, there's all these tolls that are popping up. So just pay attention to that, so when it comes to it.
That's right. That's why we're here, people. See, who's going to give you that information?
So look, out of all that, finally an iOS said, "Hey, are you still there?" That was the first time since but the T-Mobile or the Android user had like.
Are you convincing me to get an iOS now? Are you convincing me to get an iOS now?
I don't know. Oh, here's
another one.
45 timeout now. Yep.
Another one.
Yep.
God,
there was another 1 minute and 45 second timeout. I sped through that just so you guys didn't have to sit here for that.
Oh, I love this. Look at this.
So here you go.
They're all priced. There's another 20 cents.
Everybody, same price, except for a Tesla driver. And dude, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna send this video somewhere. You know that, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. So right there, that goes to show you. And like, okay, so all three of those drivers, if they would have taken it, all three of those drivers right there, they would see base fare $9.28. Our Tesla owner, he would not see that. He will see $9.08 base fare, $1 EV incentive, your payment $10.08. That's what he's going to see on his particular, if he took that particular ride. So that is where they're screwing drivers right now, or at least perceived at that
Go
point.
get those EVs. Can you
so
also highlight
EV owners out there? Please do your tests.
Yeah, Judd, I highlight Jeffrey Woodcade's questions for later, please. Jeffrey, where it says, why are none of these channels? We talk about a lot, Jeffrey. You must be new here. Welcome.
We thought, the thing now, and trust me, we'll be talking about a lot more as comments are closed. It was open for comments for a little while. Comments are now closed. They're sorting through comments. Apparently, what they're doing right now is they're going through bot comments. They're trying to find bot comments and deleting those in order to get to like real comments. So that's kind of where they're at right now. So nothing really new has come about, but there are a couple of things. So just to note, but
Jacqueline, it's a good question. Since there is no longer a rate card, how do we know if certain? Well, look at this, Jacqueline. All three drivers getting $9.28 for the exact same trip. He's the only EV driver, right? We're not making an assumption. Right. I mean, all three drivers at $9.28, EV drivers at $10.08. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And it is the exact same trip. It's not like, look at this right here.
Right here.
I mean, this doesn't tell you. I don't know what else.
2 minutes, 0.3 miles, Woodfield Mall, Schaumburg, where we were sitting, 21 minute away, Core Street and Van Buren Ave, into Plain. Each and every single one, each driver that was not an EV, $9.28. EV driver, $10.08. And this is not one trip. This is every single almost every single trip.
Don't take this off. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Hold on a second. All right, it's done. Yeah.
Well, dude, I can send you the video. So if you
no, we know we have the video. The video's going somewhere else. I just took a screenshot of this one. Just okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Sergio
so then there was another
timeout. is my email contact. Sergio@therideshareguy.com. What's happening here now? Let's
see. This is when they started putting on different. It was just UberX for a while. Then they decided to turn on everything.
References.
They were able to. Okay. So it was just a little bit of a switch there.
We know UberX and UberX Share are going to be in the same box pretty soon. So.
Yep. So right here now.
There's another one right there.
This is not 80 cent though. Look at this. This is $3.17 for this trip. This particular trip for two drivers. For other driver, it's $3.90. So it should be $4.17. Yep, getting gypped out of that.
27 cents. 20. Wow. I I to be perfectly honest, that is something.
And then even right here, the 1202. Yeah, 1202 to 1282, 80 cents.
20 cents, bro. So, unbelievable, bro.
Yep.
20 cents. It's 20, 10, 20, 10, 20. It's like little jabs. It's like 10 cents.
That's called that's nickel and diamond, man. That's exactly what it comes down to.
Multiply that times 3 million drivers and probably I don't know how many hundreds of thousands on EVs.
Yeah, I think you'd have to figure out the EV. Look, then he gets another thing. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm still there. We're doing a test, so deal with it, Uber."
yeah, chill out, Uber. You know what I'm saying?
We're doing a test. We need to know the algorithm.
Well, we're gonna. This is you know what's going to happen on this, right? You know this is forcing. I'm going to get an email next week. From who, right? So So get ready for it. Get ready for it. You know that.
Well, hey, here's another thing.
There's another 20 cents.
11.45. It should the Tesla owner should be getting it for 12.45, not 12.25. There's your 80 cents again. I told you. I mean, if I actually went through and checked how many times it was 80 cents, sometimes it was 65, sometimes it was 34. For 2 times it was one time it was 64, one time it was 36-cent difference. The majority were 80 cent. Two times I believe was 90 cent, or 3 times, and then I believe 2 times was actually one complete dollar difference. So it was like right on the money at that point.
I only saw $1 once. Everything was like 10 cents, 20 cents, and sometimes 30-some cents. So
being shaved off.
Sorry, EV drivers, but actually, you know what? Now that we have this, please, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, do the test with your buddies who don't drive an EV and see if this is going on in your city. I am like super interested in this now, like beyond interested in this now.
Here's a 3-minute and 20-second timeout for everybody drivers.
Are you all of you? All of you got cut off exactly
for all 4 drivers. So basically, what I'm doing right now in the video, what I did was I sped it up like 1,000%. So what you can see, it's you're in a busy area. You're in a busy area. Expect trips soon, but for 3 minutes and 20 seconds, nothing popped up. So now what we're seeing, now what you're looking at, besides the rides that are coming in, you're starting to see the surge pop up in different areas. So we were kind of focusing in on the surge. And some of the surge was actually coming in at different prices. Here you go. Here you go. An 80-cent difference only, not $1. Not $1.
And who the F is going to pick up a 410 rated driver as a passenger anyway?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even see that till just now. They got a 4.1.
Oh man, the freak, bro. Yeah,
here you go. You're no longer online, Android user. Sorry.
Steven, you and me, Kyle, and one more gas driver. We're meeting next week. We're gonna run this test in LA.
You know what, Steven, we need to run the tests all the time. And the reason why we need to run the tests all the time is because we had discrepancies between the 2 Chicago drivers. And just to let you know, the 2 Chicago drivers are the 2 on the far right. So the EV is one Uber, the brother driver from the first test. The one next to it is the other brother. So we did have them, do multiple tests. They do multiple tests, and they say things seem to be pretty much on par. So I'll give them that. But we always want to be running these tests because we don't know. That's the whole thing. We don't know the differences because there is no more rate card. We just don't know how they're bundling trips together. They're claiming it's 74 different freaking ways, but in actuality, we don't know. So that's the big thing.
Yeah, we definitely, we just to keep their feet to the fire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, man.
Yeah. And don't worry, we got Lyft in here coming soon. Right after this, this one's almost done here.
Take it easy on Lyft.
There you go, 484 for next share.
Take it easy on Lyft, Chris. Take it easy.
Hey, I'm gonna call them out if they're doing what they're doing. I'm gonna call them out. So right here, what you see, you can see. First off, there's $1. There's an actual dollar. Actually, no, that's a $1.10 difference.
An extra 10 cents.
Yeah, that's $1.10. So that was actually a little bit different. But if you look at the two screenshots on the right between the surge, you have an $8 for the surge, and you have a $6.50 for the other surge on the same phone at the same time, or I mean, on different phones at the same time.
Jacqueline, I'm not here to argue with you, and I'm sure you're not here to argue with me, except that it's advertised that an EV driver clearly advertised that you should get an extra $1. Okay, the TOS has nothing to do with the EV driver. Although on the other side, I would agree with you if there was not an EV driver. I get it.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. So
EV is so clearly advertised as a standalone for $1 credit extra, $1, not 90, not 80, not 70, $1.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. It doesn't matter. You should not be getting paid less than what I'm getting paid for the same exact trip if we're in the exact same area. Same thing that I should not be being paid less than you for taking the same exact trip. We should be being paid the same and the correct. And that's the whole thing when it comes down to algorithmic wage discrimination. And that's the big thing that's coming. So yes, it may be protected in TOS. It may not when it comes to labor standards. So that's TOS. TOS can be.
TOS is the TOS. You know, we read the TOS. There's nothing like this in the TOS. But you know what this precedes, Chris? This precedes this kind of bullshit algorithmic shit going into regular employment now. Like one McDonald's worker is working harder than the other one. They get like more money, less money. I'm like, that's bullshit. There it is. There's 20 cents.
Yep, 20-cent difference.
Okay, hold on.
Not that $1. You missed.
Screenshot. Oh, taken. Well, let's go. Wow, this is, you know what? If not the price, again, timeout for all drivers.
Yeah, this was I think a shorter one though. So there was like a couple of trip raters, and then.
Oh, you guys are messing up with the algo, bro.
Yeah, honestly, the algorithm worked itself out to where drivers were getting roughly the same. Again, at the beginning, it was different. At the very beginning, things were not the same until after.
All the surges are different on all three phones.
Yep. Yeah. So you see $8 on the one, $6.50 on the other, $6.75.
Okay, can you just?
And those are all zoomed into the same spot.
Yeah, can you go back one screen before that on the left one before the thing popped up? I want to take another screenshot of that one. Yeah, before one frame before. Yeah, there. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, how do you explain that, guys? How about this one? This is good. Whoever is arguing with this, like, shouldn't you all get the same at the same time? All same. You guys don't want all the same surge at the same time? No, you guys don't want it.
Yeah, if you don't want the same, then we don't need to do these tests.
I'm okay. I mean, just say I don't want it. I don't want any surge.
I want to know. I think all drivers should be paid the same for the exact same trip. I mean, come on, it's only fair. I mean, I'll continually get more. That's okay because I'm cherry picking. There you go. So this one
80 cents
is $5.63 to $6.43. So that's 80 cents right there.
Mother humper.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Hey Brian, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. You know, there it is. We're working on this one. This is a good one. This is a good one. Yeah. The algo did figure you guys were next to each other, bro. Look at that.
Yep. Look at that right here. $5.63 for two drivers and $6.43 for our Tesla.
Yeah, the algo did figure you guys out. Yeah.
I'm thinking, and that's why we got to continue.
Wait a minute. On one of them, it says top tipper. On the other one, it doesn't say top tipper. So
So the top tipper, and we went into the app version. There was a different app version between the drivers. They were all up to date. So some drivers do have different app versions than others, which that's where you're going to see like the top tipper. That's what I mentioned earlier. This phone right next to us right here with the little debug right here. This is a beta version of Uber, just to let you know.
Okay. Jacqueline, I get that. I get the TOS protects because there is no more rate card and all that good stuff. I get it. I've read the TOS 10 times. It does not protect
another minute 30.
It does not protect them against false advertising. So anyway. Another minute 30 timeout. That's interesting.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Let me go back a second. 1 second. And
bro, you did an amazing freaking job with this one, bro.
all right, here you go. Same thing. $6 here, $4.75, $3.25, and $4.75 for the surges in that surge spot. And if we zoomed out, the surges were actually like completely different. So you saw some that were a little bit bigger, some that were a little bit more, some that were a little bit less. You saw some areas that were popped up, some that weren't. So it was definitely different.
Is Lyft happening? Oh, you guys ran the guy's battery down. 986 up 20 cents. There you go. Up.
There you go. 96, and 1066. And then another minute timeout for drivers. Look at that ride right there. That's coming in 1988, and you're going almost an hour.
Well, that's how you get to 35, Chris. You know,
and you're going through into the no thanks.
That's how you get to 35.
And that's an active hour right there. Look at
Android
got kicked off again.
Kicked them out.
Kicked them off again. Here you go. Look at that. All 1988, and then our Tesla owner has 2068. So there's your 80-cent difference, not $1. 20 cents off.
Hold on. Don't move. Hold on. Oh shit. Never mind.
That was the end of it.
Okay.
That was the end of our
Uber test.
Hold on. Of our Uber tests.
Hold on, just hold it there. Hold it. I got you. Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
All right. So that was
give a hand
pretty
to Chris,
interesting to see. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. But honestly, no, I want to thank our Chicago drivers who came out, who were hanging out, having a good time, met them, had a good time, enjoyed that, and really being able to do the test. So I got to say thank you to them. We are going to do the Lyft test in just a minute on what was going on with Lyft, and there was a stark difference between Uber and Lyft in Chicago. Holy crap!
Whatever was left.
You saw exactly how busy Uber was just now, right? oh, it's a whole different story when it comes to Lyft. And David Risher and Lyft team, if you're watching this, this is something that you guys got to take note on. I mean, if you're, what is Chicago, the third or fourth largest city in the country, or second, third, fourth? I don't know, somewhere around there. I know it's right in between Houston and LA, somewhere in there. So, guys, if you're in a major city, you should be focusing on getting some riders coming to your platform. You could get drivers all day long. If you're showing them the money, they're going to be on your platform. But if you're not showing any rides, they're going to be forced to be on Uber and not really worry about Lyft. So that was a big thing that I saw. But yeah, when it came to the Uber side of things, we did see a couple of discrepancies between the price payments between all drivers at the beginning. Then it did course correct. And I say it like that because, again, I don't know if it was a misstep at the beginning, if it's the algorithm learning, hey, these drivers are nearby. There's a Sergio and Chris test going on. We got to equal out. So this is why we say make sure you do tests all the time. But the biggest thing that we came across, any EV drivers out there, if you're driving EV, even chat, listening on the outside of this, whether it's a clip, whether it's the replay, this is something where you're getting screwed out of 20 cents per trip, at least at that time. Like I said, I did talk to that particular driver, and he said that it did seem like everything was fixed. Right. Whether that's the case or not, this is why we need to continually do these tests. So, hey, if you got a friend that drives, if you got a couple of friends that drive, and you're just hanging out, grabbing something to eat, or, sitting in the airport lot, whatever you're doing, turn on the phones, let the requests come in, see what's going to happen. And, screen record, send it to us. We'll mix it together. We'll see what discrepancies are there and be able to figure that out. Same thing with the search maps. You saw all the search maps were different. Now, my speculation on this, and it's pure speculation, is there is multiple maps going on, especially with the gray clouds that are happening right now. Because my thought process behind the gray clouds with the money signs does not mean that there's going to be rides there. First, it's talking about a future of 60 minutes or so. which has no bearing on what may actually happen because they can't predict it. They could predict it with some certainty, but it's still not certain that these rides are going to be happening and coming in. So the biggest thing to note is with these clouds, I think all it's really doing is trying to reimburse or redistribute drivers to different areas, because what we've seen is we're seeing a lowering amount of surge. Yes, we could say that there's lower surge because we're entering the summer slowdown. It's also that time. So it's this very fine line that we got to pay attention to. You're shaking your head no. I'm disagreeing with you because you know, a lot of places are saying that, but the biggest thing is, you know, summer slowdown is happening right now. It started
it is.
a couple
I'm
weeks
not
ago when
questioning you on
schools.
that. I'm not shaking my head on that. What I'm saying is that they have definitely muted the surge algo. They before. If
so
they were,
I mean, that's the whole thing of continually looking. When the summer slowdown ends, when fall starts coming back and things start happening, will the surge pick up? Well, we'll see at that point. But as of right now, it's a very strange coincidence. Obviously, it's you know, causation and all that is a little bit off. But when it comes to it, you know, this is something that we want to pay attention to. This is something that we want to know. This is something that we want to be able to share with you guys, so you know when you're going out and planning your day, positioning yourself correctly so you can make the most amount of money out there. But when it comes down to it, yes, I believe that those gray clouds are a redistribution of drivers. And I think what they're doing is they're sending different maps to drivers in your same area. So let's say we have 100 drivers that are in the same particular area. I think they may have 10 different maps that they're showing all these different drivers to redistribute them to where they want. So the gray clouds may look different on one phone versus another phone, depending on what group you fall into. Again, that's pure speculation. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a very real possibility because so many people go out and chase surge. So they see $3 signs or $4 signs. They think it's going to be, oh, I'm going to get a ride there and it's going to be busy. No, you're not. You might sit there for a while because that's based on future. That's based on what they think is going to be happening.
I mean, that's based
on
on somebody else's, you know, word. I mean, who knows why they put that there? You know, it's the gamification and colors and dollar signs and whatever. It's don't believe any of it. You know, John, our buddy, says
exactly. So
you know, so John from Chicago, who's one of our drivers, says I performed the same test after this with someone who had a high acceptance rate and was offered more than other driver acceptance factors into offers. So that's an interesting point, actually. You know, that may be coming next too. Like higher acceptance rate drivers are going to get better offers. There's a potential of that because all of this is done in favor of the Formica. It's not done in favor of the Cherry Picking United. Okay. All of this done is for them, and it's because Uber knows, or Lyft, I'm not going to say Lyft to a point, but Uber definitely knows how they can manipulate and how can distribute the supply they have for that hour, for that minute to different parts of the city. And because they say it's the next hour, right? They say it's in the upcoming demand, and that's where you're going to make the money most. And if a Formica sees $4 signs, you know they're going to drive towards the $4 signs from the $2 that they're in, not knowing that the $2 sign is going to probably produce a better ride for them if they just stay put. So, you know, don't fall for it, people. Don't. I mean, it's just, you know, I got to see that to believe that the guys or gals or drivers with better ARs are going to get better offers. We will do a test for that too. We'll pick a 99%er and we'll pick a 10%er and they'll see, we'll put them side by side.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like I say, if you want to do these tests by yourself with a couple of friends nearby, just screen record your phones and send it to us, and then I'll you know, put them together so that they're just like they were on the Uber and then pretty soon on the Lyft. So they're all matched up and synced up, and we'll take a look at everything, and then that way we can again see. But we want to continually test this, and the reason why we want to continually test this is because it's so vague on how they come up with a particular price for a particular ride. Because you could see that there are similar rides that have vastly different pricing structures. So you could see something that might be a mile to pick up and a 4-mile trip. And it might come in on trip A at $4.68. Might seem pretty good because it's almost $1 a mile. But, you know, there could be another trip of the exact same distance for pickup and total trip duration, which could come in at $8.42, which could be a completely different scenario, and without surge showing up and popping up at all too. These are just base. So You know, some of these we just don't know what's going on. So it's something that we always have to continually test because of that lack of transparency. We got to continually test it. And obviously, we'd love to have different markets all over the place being able to test this. So yes, if you have any more questions, email Sergio at therideshareguy.com. But it's real easy. You open up your phone, hit screen record, start recording your screen with friends around you for 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. Turn off those screen records, send it to Sergio and myself. We'll get them going, and we're good from there.
Yeah, Techie B, you don't need anything special to screen record. You just all phones have that built in already, so it's within your phone. You should be able to screen.
Yeah, it just depends on what phone you have. If you got an iPhone, you just swipe down from the right, from the top right, and then there's like a little circle with another little circle. You just press that screen record.
No, Michael, I don't think that makes any difference. We're actually working on that story though, how much Uber and Lyft both are shaving on time when they send you the request versus an actual Google Maps or Waze. I'm working on that really hard. It's really tough topic to prove, but we have really good evidence that they're shaving minutes. But upfront, because on upfront, there is no rate card. 3 minutes, 4 minutes shaved on each trip. If you do 20 trips is 1 hour, you work for free. So we're working on that. Stay tuned on that one.
Let's move into, we still got plenty of show. So let's move into our Lyft test, because we were doing Uber for a while. So Uber, we're calling you out, and we didn't have any Lyft tests going. So we got to go on the Lyft side. So we did have 3 drivers who were on out of the 4 drivers from the test. Unfortunately, one of the screen recordings did get corrupted, but I will be able to at least let you know what had happened, because out of the 42 minutes, I believe, that we were doing the Lyft test for, because it was freaking crickets, 3 or 4 ride requests came in.
Are you serious?
We did it for 42 minutes, and it was 3 or 4 ride requests came in during that entire time on Lyft, and each phone got the same request. That is why Lyft, you gotta rebrand yourselves to being, the go-to app for riders. So if we're turning our apps on, we're seeing ride requests come in like that, where it was on Uber. Uber, you saw ding, trip radar, ding, 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 bam, bing, bing, bang, bam, boom. On Lyft, whew.
Well, that's crazy.
3-minute wait, 3 minute just to get the first.
Hey, at least the surge is matching.
So
the surge is matching.
Yeah, So surge was matching. Surge was looking good. And where it says 3 to 12 minute wait in your area, it should be really like less than a minute wait in your area, being in Chicago. Granted, we weren't in downtown, we're in Schaumburg, so it's still out there, but
I guess
so our first one comes
Chicago is an Uber town, huh?
Oh, for sure. 100%. So our first ride request that comes in is 9:14 on Lyft. Obviously, he lets it go.
Did they send it to him again? No.
Yep. It sends in, so we got...
you know what this other thing shows is that shows the variability of the quests and streaks and challenges, right? The guy on the left doesn't have anything. The guy on the right has a 9 streak going and a $20 challenge, right? So when people say, when these companies say, oh, drivers are earning 35 active hour, well, the guy on the right is probably earning 35 an active hour. The guy on the left is not going to earn that.
Yep. So here we go. Same ride. It was 9:14. Now it's 8:87. And just to tell you, like I said, we had 3 drivers. One of the files, unfortunately, did not work. It was corrupted. But all 3 prices were completely different.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, and there was no rhyme or reason. And here was the interesting fact. So here's 7 minutes and 50-second wait.
Man, you guys were patient.
Literally almost 8 minutes for us to get another ride request to come in on the platform. But yet here's search popping up. Here's some pricing, right?
There's no demand. The search popping up. Okay, but I got to give Lyft credit here. The surge is exactly the same. Both drivers popped the same map at exactly the same time.
Yeah, the surge is the same, so that's good. And it updated pretty quick at the same time, honestly. But the pricing structure. Okay. Now here's the crazy point. Here was the craziest thing. So we had 3 phones. Each single ride that came in, 3 different times to 3 different phones. The first phone got the highest price. The second phone got the medium price. The third phone got the lowest price. So it was like the price was decreasing as they were shipping it out to new drivers.
So after the decline,
tell me.
instead of increasing, they were decreasing it?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It was the wildest thing.
Well, I'm
So you
telling
saw on
this.
the
Mr.
first
Risher,
two.
I give you credit on this, Mr. Risher. The maps are not at least lying. The rest may be lying, but the maps are not lying. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No,
so
man.
It was really interesting to see when it came down to it.
So Uber has the better fees. That's what they have. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So here you go. Same ride comes in, different price, but you see both have a 375 bonus come in.
Wow, look at that trip,
Yeah,
bro.
that's so there you go. 47.27, 45.97, same price, same trip. So Lyft is doing the exact same thing. Then we got a 52 second wait. I don't know why I put that in there, but it's about another minute between. And we had a 1348.
Bro, I'm amazed at this at the search screen being identical, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Serge is
there
right.
You go,
but,
Uber. Watch this, Uber. Are you watching this, Uber? See, this is how the search screen should be. Not your bullshit.
Yeah.
One guy gets one, the other one gets nothing, the other one. I'm telling you, if that doesn't prove that every driver has like a little sliver of an AWS server at Uber, you guys are fools if you guys don't believe it. This is crazy.
Defenstrator, the distances are slightly different. That was popping up quite a bit. We were literally, every phone was literally sitting next to each other. So
that's the
how
time
they calculated
and
it could be a little different.
That's the time and mileage shaving coming up next.
Like honestly, where the screen records are, the phones were actually closer, to be honest, because they were literally sitting next to each other in the back of my car.
Yeah. 11 minutes between rides.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Sitting there waiting.
Holy shit.
So
That's nuts, bro.
This is what I say when it comes to Uber versus Lyft in your particular market. Like if you're not, at least 20-30%, when it comes to ride balance, from Uber at a major metropolitan market, you need to really focus on getting these riders back.
This definitely doesn't look
here
like
you go.
it. I mean, wow.
Hold on. So here you go. So this is what I was talking about when it comes to the differential in prices. Obviously, one's Lyft XL versus Lyft regular.
Yeah.
But what you see, it's a very similar ride. And if you take it away, how much difference is it? So like that's just showing you the discrepancies between the two. And then, you see the differences between the two trips there. So you're seeing, 887 versus 914 on that.
Well, but the other thing, is that the other thing that's what the fenestrator made the correct point on that one is that one says 0.7 miles, one says 0.8 miles while they're side by side.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the passenger
that's the whole thing. No,
you guys did not.
And that's
move.
the whole thing.
Nobody
Like
moved.
literally, the phone, all four phones were literally in like that difference of an area. So it's like they're all sitting right there.
Potentially, the passenger could have moved, but not 1/10 of a mile. I doubt it. No, man.
I've noticed that on Uber too. Like if you go back on the Uber video, you'll see the differences between the two. But here's another 9 minute and 5 second wait between rides, between a ride request. So
if Uber has 75% market share and Lyft has 25%, this doesn't say that. This says Uber has 90% market share, Lyft has 10% market share.
If that, how many rides were coming in on Uber? How many trip raiders were coming in?
Non-stop.
And we did it. I believe it was I could tell you right now how long the tests were. Give me a second.
No, but you know what? I'm telling you, Mr. Risher, I know you're going to watch this. I know you are. I give you kudos on the fact that your surge map or bonus map, whatever you want to call it, is not as shady as Uber's. I'll give you that one.
All right, so the Uber test was almost 22 minutes. We'll say 22 minutes between. This was 42 minutes that we were doing this test for, and we got what, 4 or 5 requests in that amount of time versus 20 minutes where they were just going back and forth. Here's another one, same exact trip. You know, you're seeing a difference in price there by what, 30 cents. So, you know, again, this just goes to show you this is wage discrimination. And whether Uber or Lyft thinks this is cool, it's not. I don't think it's cool. And I don't think any other driver should think it's cool. Obviously, if you're in the higher receiving end, you're probably happy. But, you know, this is something where the opposite could be just as easily done to you as it is to anybody else. So, yeah, it's something that we got to watch out for and continuously look.
Yeah, that's the other topic going to be the shady shaving. I'm going to call it shady shaving, bro.
Shady shaving. I like it.
Shady
that's what we're going to call it.
Happening. I'm telling you, Chris, it's happening a lot. With that significantly or a lot or blah, 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 blah. Shady shaving, especially on the ping, it's happening so much. Like this Lyft trip.
Here you go.
You know, it says that. And then when you finish it, or the second you accept it, you go pick up the passenger, okay? And you go to, instead of going to Lyft, you know, navigation, go to Waze or go to Google, bro. It's like 3-4 minutes extra every single time, bro. Every single time. They're shaving it when they're sending you the ping. And I'm like, come on, man. Your systems are better than this, hopefully. You know, Uber is doing it too, not just Lyft. They're both doing it. They're shaving with upfront because there is no rhyme or reason. They go, let's just shave 3 minutes on this, 4 minutes on this. That's 1 million trips per hour on Uber systems, people. Figure out how many minutes we're losing.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So I caught on to that years. I mean, this has been going on for years when it came to it. Every time I had a much different acceptance rate or way I would accept a Lyft ride over an Uber ride since, you know, the whole auto reroute, because I hated that. If I took a trip that was like 10 minutes away or something, well, this is when I first started out, really before I started implementing some strategies, but this is where strategies started coming in just naturally. But it's like, okay, anything over a certain amount of time, I would just completely ignore. I would not take because I didn't want to do that reroute. It pissed me off to no end, especially if I'm coming up. If anybody in Buffalo knows this, if I'm coming up on the intersection between Walden and Union, it's like 6 lanes across. And if I'm trying to make a left and you got the light with the left, and then all of a sudden it reroutes you and you have to go right, that to me pisses me off because now I have to turn left. Then I have to find a place to turn around. Then I have to sit in that fucking light again and wait and continuously go. So it's like, I just don't want to do it. So my acceptance for Lyft was much different. And it was, you know, when it came, I would always say 8 minutes or less when it came to distance to pick up. And every single time, once it would go to Waze or Google Maps, depending on what I was using for the day, it would say 10 minutes away, 12 minutes away for the pickup. Every single time.
But that was with time and distance, right? Now with upfront, they're getting away with it. There's like, hey, you know, I mean, if you look, there's one thing in this life we cannot get back is time. So if I'm doing 20 trips a day, I'm getting shaved 3 minutes from to the pickup and to my destination. That's an hour I work for free. Otherwise, I would have gotten paid under miles and minutes or time and distance. So that we're working on that one. This is going to be the next big one, Chris. I'm telling you, this is bullshit. Stealing an hour of my life every time without paying me, and not going to happen on every shift, bro. No, that's the next big one. Yeah, that's bullshit. You recreated the wheel, all the upfront fares. In what world, bro? By the way, Jacqueline, if you're still here, that's why we want to take this to the legal route, because during discovery, they have to disclose what's in that freaking algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So that's throwing 2 different prices. That's why we want to take it to that route. So, you know, yeah, that's garbage. Yeah, man.
So yeah, and every single ride was definitely different. No, I don't drive in Chicago.
Yeah, he doesn't drive in Chicago.
I'm in Buffalo.
Down we go. Hello back. Yeah, you know what?
Here you go. About 20-cent difference.
Yeah. So the Lyft algo is pretty simple. It goes, the first one doesn't take it. I am sure the next one is going to take it for less. That's the wrong.
Well, it wasn't every time. It was definitely a few of the times.
Huh?
I said it wasn't every time. It was a few of the times. So it was really interesting to see that when it came down to it, because it was like, it wasn't every time where it would like go down the escalator between the three drivers. Sometimes it would kind of like go up or down, but like that was a trend that I noticed when I was actually paying attention. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then near the end, there were a couple more ride requests that were coming in and all that stuff. So it was pretty interesting to see the whole breakdown, though.
The algo is DK and Mr. Risher. The algo is supposed to go the other way after the decline, meaning we didn't take it because we weren't testing, but we're really actually driving. I drove yesterday. I declined solid 8 pings in the middle of Santa Monica and morning rush hour before I took one that I wanted. So to me, you got to bump it up. The reason we're declining is because, just like you guys said, it's on you, not on us, because we're declining because we don't like the price. So teach your algo faster,
and then
bump.
And then they're coming up with other excuses on why they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna try to deactivate you if you avoid certain areas or something like that.
That's
which
definitely
we're gonna talk about that on a different scale. But then who knows what else they're gonna come up with? They're paying this think tank. They got a think tank somewhere sitting in there. I think they're feeding like ChatGPT or something, like what they can, and they're trying to come up with all these different ideas. Okay, how can we deactivate drivers when they're not doing something wrong? Oh, here we go, perfect. So
they're not going to the bad areas of the city. They're declining trips into bad areas of the city. I'm like, hey, I'm an independent contractor.
No, you're not paying me right. I don't want to take that freaking ride. Give me something that's going to be worth my time. Sorry, I don't discriminate. Honestly, I don't discriminate on area. I've gone, the east side of Buffalo is the worst side. That's where there's a lot of crime and everything. I have no problem going to the east side. I really don't. I've seen quite a few things happen. I've been followed. There's been a couple of things that were close calls and stuff like that. Definitely things to always, have your head on a swivel about. But when it comes down to it, like I never discriminate where I'm going. I don't care. I mean, some people might. I don't blame you if you do. That's up to you. That's how you want to drive. You want to feel safe. You feel safe. Do what you have to do in order to make you feel safe. I don't have a problem. But if you're not paying me the right rides and if you're sending me to a specific area, then that's your problem, not mine, because I'm not going to accept crap offers.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. And Jeff, no, CPU is alive. I worked literally like 2 hours yesterday for $88. I still got game. So CPU is alive. Trust me. Especially in LA, CPU is 100% alive. So there you go.
Yep. All right. So that was our test. Any last things on that?
There you go. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time, but again, I want to say thank you to the drivers who came out. Obviously, if anybody's in Buffalo and wants to do this test, get hold of me. We can definitely do the test. If Sergio will probably meet up with people as well too in LA. So if you want to do it in LA, but again, if you are watching and you have a couple of people that get together, go grab something to eat. Turn on your Uber app for 10, 15 minutes. Turn on your Lyft app for 10, 15 minutes. See what happens. Send it to us, and we'll go further than that. So let's do this question right now. Yeah. And then this was the original question, but
I don't work like that, Rami. I got your correct pronunciation. Now I read it, Rami. So to me, the important thing is what my daily plan was. Right, yesterday morning. I'll put that up actually for you guys next week. I had a nice reserve trip, literally from a mile from my house to LAX at 6 a.m. with no traffic, which I knew was only going to take me 35 to 45 minutes. I got stuck a little bit at the loop, but that's okay. If anybody knows LAX knows. That was a $55 trip. It was an UberX reserve trip. I took it, went to LAX, bought gas, drove up to Santa Monica. Since you're in LA, I'm giving you the playbook. On the way up to Santa Monica, I declined 7 in a row. I had my destination filter set already back to the house because I just wanted to do that trip and grab a couple going back. I did a $15.50, including tip, 5-mile trip to the freeway. And from there, I did a $1.10 trip, $1.10 a mile trip because it took me 4 miles back to my house, $88, literally 2 hours or less. I was a happy camper, but I declined. I don't know. Even on DF, I declined. Shit, I don't know. I think like 8, 9, 10 in a row. So you got to play the game correctly. The money is still there. I mean, if you do it the right way, it's still there. And CPU, by the way, who someone is Cherry Pickers United. There's 2 unions that are head to head. We're battling all the time. One is AFU, Apple Frank U. The other one is CPU, Charlie Paul U. CPU is Cherry Pickers United. AFU is Ant Formica United. So you go. So you belong to one of those unions.
Yep. Every single driver does.
Single.
All right. Well, yeah, that was very interesting to see, especially in Chicago when it came down to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I hope you guys do your own tests to figure out first what's going on in your market, what's going on with you. Are you a driver who falls under the EV issue when it comes to 80 cents instead of $1? And then you go and check your receipts and it says EV incentive of $1. Yeah, you definitely want to know that, especially because you're supposed to be getting $1 extra, not $1 based on a base fare that they want to change for each driver. That's not the point. If I have an EV and I'm expecting $1 extra and trying to hit that $4,000 mark, how much are they shaving off? That's 4,000 rides that you're giving. If you're getting 4,000 at 80 cents, how much difference is that? That's quite a bit right there.
$400.
That's quite a bit.
That's an extra 400 you have to do to get to 4,000. No. We're going to do that next week. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, let's move on because that took a little longer than I expected, but I hope it was eye-opening again. Yet the same, because there were. I mean, seeing those prices all the same on Uber. I mean, that's good when it came to it. It wasn't good to see that dollar difference, and then seeing how Lyft operates too. But just the stark difference between how busy Uber is compared to Lyft. You got your workout cut out for you there.
Yep.
All right, let's shift it. We want to let you know again the Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. It is nearing the end of June, so have you done something that has been good?
I haven't gotten one. Not even one.
People, do something nice for your fellow man out there, or your man or woman. Come on, do something nice for them. Go a little extra above and beyond. And if you do, it might win you $100. Who knows? And maybe a little thing. Actually, pretty interesting, which I think we got later. We'll talk about with our recipient from last month. But that's coming later in the show, so you have to stick around for that. So, but yeah, we want to let you know what's going on. So make sure. But you know what? So, last week we played a video.
Yeah, we did.
Can we play that video again for you, or for everybody, or no?
Should we? Yeah, we should. How long is it? A minute and a half? Yeah. Okay, people, please watch this. This is like super important.
This is some huge news happening right now. So
yeah,
there you go. Right. Hold on a second. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Jeff says, Sergio, next week a pink hat and a shirt. No, man. No.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the deal. If David Risher comes on to the show, we will wear our pink.
Guaranteed.
I'll wear my 1K jacket, or I do have a Lyft pink t-shirt. Actually, I just don't know where it is. I think it's in storage.
You have the mustache?
No, I don't have the mustache. I have a t-shirt. When I did when I was a DAC member on Lyft.
The mustache on the back of me. David Risher, if you're watching, if you're coming on, send me one of those mustache. I'll put it right behind me. Background. There you go. Send me one of those mustache. Mr. Risher, thank you so much for the swag bag. Much appreciated. Now I'm going to go do a few trips. Let's see what Lyft passengers think about the pink mustache. Let's go, Mr. Risher. See you soon. Look what I have to go through to get you on Show Me the Money Club for an insightful conversation. Open invitation. Now, if I do get a ticket with this thing on my car, I am sending you the bill.
All right, so we played that because Sergio got the pink mustache, so it was pretty interesting to see. And literally right after the show ended, I sent him that video that I made, and he tweeted that out. So this is what happened. So Twitter is an amazing little tool here because we said, hey, everybody go out there and if you got a Twitter, tweet at him and see if you can get him on Show Me the Money Club. So Sergio tweeted this out. And we also asked you guys, what do you think? 1 or 2, if you think Risher would come on. Well, we got news for you guys. We are going to have Mr. David Risher on Show Me the Money Club live. That's right. He's going to come on, and we're making it happen, guys. We're making it happen. So, Sergio, how do you liking that?
Man, you know what? I was like, I tweeted it. Nothing happened for like overnight. Next morning, I'm like a little child at Christmas. You know what I mean? I go,
you text me right away. You're like, oh, my God, look at
this. First of all, I knew this was going to happen because Mr. Risher and the head of Lyft Comms started following me on Twitter. Right? I'm going like, yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then, sure enough, half hour later, he said, challenge accepted. DM me and we'll work it out. And we're working it out. So,
yep. So the original tweet, just to say, it says open invitation to the CEO of Lyft, Mr. David Risher, to come on a live stream at the Rideshare Guy channel. It's like no limit Texas Hold'em. He called and raised. Now we're all in. 2 choices are up on the table: fold or show up. Check this out. And right after he responded,
and then I said, if there's a will, there's a way. I responded to his public. Now we've been DMing. Okay. So you guys know, I cannot show the other part up top, but on this one, it's part of the DM, which we can show. He goes, hi, Sergio, great to hear from you. And, glad you enjoyed the swag. I did. I am using it right there. And I have a lot to learn from you. Now, if he means half of what he just says there, okay, I think we have a really great thing coming. Because I think if he does show up, Chris, I think all the other ones will follow. And it is not going to be this kumbaya, let me hug you, blah, blah, blah kind of a thing. He knows that. I know that. Everybody at Lyft knows that. What's going to be is that we're going to ask these interesting, important questions, right? Because I'm going to just become the mouthpiece of the driver. Basically, that's it. I'm going to listen. I know what the problems are. We're just going to go, hey, let's build a bridge. Let's keep this going. Let's have the communication lines open. And let's help these drivers, because this is what the actual drivers want. Not your, driver advisory council, none of this stuff. They're all Kool-Aid drinkers. Here, we are working for the driver. We're driver's advocates. And these are the problems, Mr. Risher. It's up to you to fix it. And then if you don't fix it, we'll call you out afterwards. And I think this was great. So, Mr. Risher, thank you so much. We're going to set it up.
We appreciate that. And
he's traveling in June, but hopefully next month or whenever. Open invitation, as we said.
We don't, just to let everybody know watching in the replay, we will definitely let you guys know exactly when that's going to happen, so you can come on and kind of watch it in real time if you'd like, or watch the replay, whatever it might be. But we will definitely let you know. We just don't have a time and date nailed down just yet, but once we do, we will definitely let you know. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. And he texted me that morning, and I was just getting back from walking my dog. And I'm like, holy shit, it's actually going to happen, huh?
It's happening, baby.
So
it's happening.
It's pretty cool. So Lyft, David, we'll be looking forward to having you guys on, and we can have a good conversation, figure some things out, hopefully fix some things, and or at least get some more information. So it's information.
I think this is great. You know what? For a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company to show up on Show Me the Money after a year of existence says quite a bit of who we are, what we've done, what we've shown to do. Okay. So for all the followers, all the audience, this couldn't have happened without you guys, because you guys became my eyes and ears. The community is growing every single day. It's growing. and our voices are getting louder, so we're going to get places. Things like this don't happen to other people. Okay. I mean, CEOs don't have a tendency of showing up at a live stream. Okay.
Yeah.
But to me, that's a feather in our cap. That's not the point. The point is we're trying to help. We're trying to create a dialogue, because the perception of these companies in the driver community is horrible, Chris. It's horrible. And I think we can work on this. We can fix it. And on good faith on our part, good faith on his part, we'll have a great conversation, and we'll put the problems on the table, and we'll move on.
Yeah. Well, not only that though, we had another. I mean, like I said, Twitter is an amazing.
I don't know.
We had another $1 billion CEO responding to a comment.
Yeah. Donnie, are you here, Donnie?
Here you go. Donnie, I know you were in here earlier.
I know you were in here. So this is yesterday. My article came out yesterday on our Donnie Disco, who truly is a gem. His video is up. He's doing really well, the interview. And then my article showed up, and I tweeted, and I said, and the headline of the article is this: Donnie truly has 100% AR and 0% CR. And he's from Biloxi, Mississippi. He's an ambassador of his city, an amazing gentleman, Southern gentleman. And we had a great interview. We put the interview up. When the article came out, I tweeted it. And I tagged DK, Andrew Mack, number two, and the Sachin, who I've interviewed before. So lo and behold, Mr. DK, Dara Koshoshai, says, watched your interview. Amazing person, life story, and an incredible Uber driver. Yes, I agree with you, DK. I think Donnie is an amazing human being, an amazing Uber driver. You guys are lucky to have drivers like this. And then the conversation continued. I mentioned all the other drivers on our system. So now we have a little dialogue going on. And I'm going like, well, I'm going to stick it right in there, bro. Because, look, as you may all know, DK was born in Iran, right? And the city he was born was pretty close to where my mother-in-law, rest her soul, was born. So I go, slip it in there, Chris, And I said, my mother-in-law, rest her soul, was born in Tabriz, Iran. Besides rideshare, we have a lot more in common than you think. Open invitation. So Mr. Dara Koshoshai, this is your open invitation. Okay. Now, Mr. Risher said yes. And at some point, I am sure we're going to have you on as well. And all we're doing is creating a bridge, creating a dialogue, because I think drivers are just thirsty for getting their voices out. And, look, it helps to have the mainstream media on your side. A couple of weeks ago, the major article in LA Times, another one that's coming up next week, by the way, Chris. So, and this is, it's just, you know what? We're just going to keep doing what we do. And people are listening, people are watching, and people are understanding that we're here for a reason. And the reason is to help drivers. Can we get things done? Look, look at Uber as a 75 billion global empire. Look at it as like a huge oil tanker in the marina. These companies cannot just turn, 360. They will hit every house, every boat in the marina. Things happen slowly. And I know you guys are impatient. You guys want things to happen yesterday. But it is what it is. You got to take it the way it is. But at least now we can have a dialogue. We can have an open line of communication with these CEOs. And maybe we can do stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll definitely keep you guys posted on everything that's happening. Amazing that Risher's coming on. Thank you. We're going to appreciate that. We're going to have a lot of fun. But we're also going to figure out a couple of things and really try to see what's going on, get some things worked out or brought up. And we're working on that in the back end. So we'll make sure it's good for you guys. On top of it, but just being able to have him come on and having this dialogue between somebody who has such power in a company, especially when we're all relying on that when it comes to whether it's extra money, whether it's our main source of money, whatever it might be. It's definitely a step in the right direction and awesome. 100%. So thank you everybody too as well. With that being said, I saw somebody in the comments just a moment ago say, now it's time for a giveaway. You're right. It is time for a giveaway.
Damn right, buddy.
In fact,
right. Hold on,
if you enter hashtag,
while you're doing that, let me take this off.
If you get hashtag CEO, hashtag CEO, you could win $25. We're going to do our next segment between, so you have a couple of minutes to do it. Again, this is for the live stream only. You have to be participating within the live stream. If you're listening on the podcast's audio version, if you're listening on the replay, sorry, this isn't gonna count for you. So it's only for the live chat. The people who are in the live chat, enter the hashtag CEO. I don't know why I'm screwing that up. I'm so used to saying SEO, so that's why. But we'll do that in just a minute. So moving on, we have a very interesting little thing. Give me 1 second.
Am I blurry? I'm blurry, right?
Oh, you're not blurry. All right.
No?
So one of the things that's going on is this whole significant versus extra or whatever it might be when it comes to trying to adjust your trip. So if you get the upfront fare price at a particular price, then they say it will be adjusted if it's significantly longer or, you know, significantly different from the route that they had estimated or whatnot. Well, we don't know what significant means, but at least my thought is what you see on these screenshots right now would be hugely significant. So what you see on the right screenshot is your ride request coming in for a reserved ride on Lyft. And it says go online by 4:45 a.m. and it's going to be at a 5 a.m. It's going to be an hour and 28 minute for 87.7 miles. The upfront fare estimate is $88.97. And so this particular driver wanted to take it. Yeah. Then after the ride was done, what you see is the ride did not take 1 hour and 28 minutes, but it took 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Almost double the amount of time that it was quoted at. And guess what? Guess what? It was not adjusted at all. So you're sitting there for an extra hour and 20 minutes, hour 19 to be specific, with nothing, no extra pay, nothing. So that particular driver got an extra $2.03 for wait time because that particular rider had not been ready for 15 minutes and 56 seconds after the driver got there and the wait time started going on. So he got his $88.32, which was not even the $88.97 that was quoted. Yeah. So he got gypped out of 60 cents on top of that. And then he didn't get the money he was supposed to. Yeah, he made $122.85 because he made a $32.50 tip. But still, you know, right there, what's going on? Your upfront fare is not the same as what he was supposed to make. So he $88.97, it should have been $88.97, not $88.32. But what is going on? An hour and 19-minute difference.
It's not significant.
You're not getting compensated for that? You're not getting what?
It's not significant,
what?
Chris.
How is that not significant? That's what's going on? That's not significant. That's very significant in my opinion.
I know, of course, I'm being facetious, but I mean, according to the Lyft, it's not significant. No, not long enough. Maybe another 5. You know, I mean, you know what? I if this was in California, by the way, okay, this would not have been well. He would have gotten an extra $19.20 for that, right? And because under Prop 22, it's on active time, right? So he would have got, but he would have probably evened out after 2 weeks because he wouldn't have gotten paid any extra for this. So I'm like, look, this, first of all, I questioned the sanity of the driver initially accepting this trip, right?
Actually, just to let you know, that was in California.
That wasn't okay. So, all right, then, because I blacked out the, you know, the addresses. So I was like, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Okay, so
you can see CA in the corner there.
Yeah, because of Prop 22. Because of Prop 22, he probably would have gotten another $20 out of this because an hour is like $19.20 in California on active time. But what will happen is that after 2 weeks, if this guy does more trips, right, it's going to get all nullified and he's not going to get the benefit of this. But in face value, he did not get an upside adjustment. That's all we're trying to explain here. So an hour and 18 more minutes, and he beats his head into the Lyft abyss of AI bot support now. They didn't give him, said, nope, this is the upfront. This is what you get, you know, even if it goes this much longer. So this is one of the things we're going to talk about with Mr. Risher, because this does not make sense to me. This absolutely does not make sense to me. Initially, him taking the trip for an hour and a half, $90, he's looking at it, what, like $60 an hour, right? All right, not too bad. But then there's dead mile return. Maybe you didn't think of that either. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But the other one is worse.
Or it could have been he wanted to position himself. Maybe he's in I mean, I don't know that particular area where it is. Maybe it's not the best area in terms of pricing. Maybe he wanted to go into a different area where he would have dropped off, drove there for the day, and then came back. Maybe it was much more worth it that way. I don't know. I mean, that's what happens when you're trying to plan and position for your day. So beyond that, I don't know. I mean, like what we're doing is we're talking about how an hour and 19 minutes goes by and you're not getting adjusted for that, which is pretty crazy. But you know, that's just that trip. The other trip that we got on there, the actual estimated time for that one was 2 hours 54 minutes for 143 miles, and the upfront fare was supposed to be 130.60 cents. I mean, I don't know why you're taking that, but okay, sure. It ended up taking truly 4 hours and 14 minutes, and it didn't get adjusted. I don't know what was going on there. Serge fell off, so when Serge comes back on, I'm sure he's probably got something to say on this particular case as well too. But yeah, I mean that's ridiculous. Almost a 3-hour ride goes by, and 4 hours and 14 minutes is what it really is. So you're going another hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes on top of it. Again, not getting any sort of adjustment in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, this is definitely something that you got to watch out for when it comes down to it, because I don't know. This is where you got to worry about what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure Sergio has a couple of keywords, but I'm not sure what happened with him. Maybe his computer had taken a little hiccup or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you've seen something like this, I know I saw somebody in the comments just now write something where they were going on. If you got screenshots like that, send it to us. Let us know. The other side of the coin is make sure you screenshot your reservation rides and what you get paid, because there has been a pretty big discrepancy. Whether it's a couple of dollars or not, that's still a discrepancy, and it should be paid at the right wage. So make sure you pay attention to those things too, so you can challenge that, because screenshots are going to be everything. Yeah, Sergio Blue Gasket. He must have. No, his computer, I'm thinking what ended up happening, because he's not on back on. Oh, there he is. There he is. I don't know what happened there.
Internet problems. No problem.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah, we were just we just finished up the other one, where it was 2 hours 54 minutes. It was supposed to be, and ended up being 4 hours and 15 minutes. And again, nothing there, and just saying, you know, take screenshots of everything, so you know when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, look, you know, some of these scheduled trips or reserve trips are pretty decent. I mean, those two I wouldn't have done, but then maybe they're going to airport from, you know, wherever they are. Hey, you know, every driver makes their own decisions. I'm not going to blame that, but that upside adjustment needs to happen ASAP, like ASAP. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
All right, we'll give you last second for getting your hashtag CEO in the fact that Mr. Risher will be coming on to the show some point very soon, which is going to be exciting. So with that being said, let's see who is going to be our winner for today. Yes, Sally, screenshot all requests.
Yes, everything.
Steven, congratulations.
My buddy, Steven.
Congratulations. You are the winner of the hashtag CEO. Awesome.
Steven, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, please. WTF? What do you mean WTF? You just got married, bro.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Congratulations there. All right. Let's move on. We got our next. What's up?
Congrats.
Oh yeah. Make sure you hit up. Sorry. Make sure you hit up Sergio at therideshareguy.com, and he will get you what you need to know. So let's move on. We got something that Lyft is saying that drivers nationwide are earning $35 per hour per active hour. Let's get that right. Not per hour, active hour. So here is the article.
We don't want to
talk about that.
I don't want to piss off Mr. Risher before he shows up, but he committed now. So Look, there's going to be a debate. A lot of this is going to be based on what is an hour in human life. The hour I know is, this regular 60-minute clocks, Chris.
Yep.
I don't know about utilized hour
on Earth at sea level.
Yes. I don't know about utilized hour, active hour, all these fancy schmancy words trying to recreate the wheel. An hour is 60 minutes. If I'm working for 60 minutes, I'm working for 60 minutes. I mean, you know what? I mean, I think they have the correct data. Now, the only part on this to me that caught my attention was nationally. You know what I mean? That's a big, ball of whatever in there. So every one of you who is on the stream and later watching on, according to Lyft, look, I'm not going to question the data. They have the data. I mean, they have to present it. They say that on active hour, meaning period 2 and period 3, people. Active hour is you accept the trip on your way to the passenger with a button in the back seat. You go to destination. That's active hour. They said everybody, nationally. That's like huge. LA people maybe are making this.
That's like the whole country.
Yeah, and a driver in Idaho, I don't think is making 35 utilized hour, but they're saying that they are. So, and to me, I'm not going to question it. And according to Lyft, by the way, that some of you may have gotten an email. Please send that to me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. They compared what you were making in May of 2023 per trip to what you were making in January of 2023. And those numbers, they say, are up 10 to 14%, according to Lyft, per trip average, okay? And that's a little fuzzy math to me as well, because some people who are getting decent ride challenges or streaks obviously will hit that number, 10 to 14% higher, than some people will not. But people will ask Mr. Risher about this too. I go, hey, our drivers making more money. Active hour is not my preferred choice of words when it comes to drivers. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, same here. I mean, it looks good when because again, you're shaving off time. So, one of the stats is they say about a third of your time is just sitting there waiting for a ride to come in. That obviously could be different depending on your market, depending on where you are, how you use the apps. It could definitely be different, but let's just use a third as the example. So just take a third of $35 per hour per active hour. You get your actual hourly rate, or something that's guesstimated to around there, and you'll have a little bit better of understanding of what the hourly rate probably would be on a national average. So let's say $35. You shave off about almost about $12 off that. That brings you down to about 23 per hour. That sounds a little bit more where probably it would be. Obviously, drivers can make much more than that. You could still average, $40, $50 an hour, depending on what you're doing. You could also average, $8 an hour. It just depends where you are, what you're doing, and if you're and if you got bonuses, if you're working to the bonuses, what you're doing. So,
I mean, these claims,
pay attention to what you're doing, what's going on.
These claims are always made 35, 38, active hour. Look, we showed it last week, Chris. When they showed me the money and then I had the guarantees, I made $80 an active hour. My God. And then, so that takes care of 3 people who did not make probably, $20 an active hour. So you put me and those 3 together, we're all together at 35 an hour. I'm like, whatever. So this is something that I picked up. This is very important subject to me, which we're going to discuss, of course. On the left screenshot, it says the best way to get passengers back, because Mr. Risher is trying to go back to the basics, and customer centric. He said that we have 2 customers. One is the passenger, one is the driver, right? And fine. And he's done some really good things in the app. I'm not going to deny it. And he says the best way to get passengers is to have a lot of drivers, and the best way to get a lot of drivers is to have a lot of passengers. I agree. However, you get a lot of drivers.
Chicken or the egg scenario.
Yeah, you get a lot of drivers. That active hour, Mr. Risher, is not going to look good, because most of these people are going to be idling while the rest of them are doing a trip, okay? So to me, there's neither here nor there. But the important part was He was talking about deactivations and unjust deactivations. Okay. And I know what happens in our world. We're very familiar with fraudulent passenger claims, even down to not having car seats, and they'll complain and Lyft will deactivate you or suspend you, or underage minor, all these things that Wiki should be able to have no problems about deactivation. So they asked him about, like, how do you deactivate drivers, right? And like what goes into it. And then he was pretty vague. He goes, we don't explicitly describe the standards that were violated when the deactivation happens. Well, I think, Mr. Risher, that should change. I think at least on that front, you should be transparent with your drivers and say, this is why you got deactivated, by the way, as opposed to, spinning your wheel with your AI bots over there. And the reason for that, said CEO, for every reported incident, we need to balance providing as much transparency as we can for drivers, but at the same time, protect the safety of the reporting party. I agree. Except that when a majority of drivers are getting deactivated for unjust claims and BS claims, fraudulent claims, you need to really, really pay attention more to the driver's side than you need to shoot first and ask questions later attitude, because I think that happens quite often. And even on serious claims, when it comes to sexual assault and whatnot, Lyft's own safety report says the incident rates are exactly 50-50. Meaning 50% of the time, the driver is assaulting either a female or sexual assault or harassment, and it's the other way around on the driver. So I think taking sides on this issue would be detrimental, really. I don't think any CEO should take sides on this. And more importantly, I think just fix the system. It's a easily fixable system. And I know with scale comes problems. Scale creates problems, Chris. When you're doing 1 million trips per hour like Uber, every hour, on the hour, 7 days a week, 365, all these complaints, all these, support tickets are going to come in. Humans cannot handle this, so they put it into the blender of the AI or whatever it is, and these poor drivers get deactivated. And I think that should be fixed and needs to be fixed. So,
yeah, well, I think this is a point where, if you want to look at this, I think one of the biggest things is drivers should have dash cameras, and these companies should have a way to be able to submit that, because at that point, that's when you can have exactly what had happened. Obviously, something when it comes to any type of issue, whether it's, a false claim, whether it's warranted, whatever it is that happened, a dash camera itself does not have any bias. I mean, I think a dash cam makes you as a driver more professional, because you're on, you got that still in the back of your mind, even if you're not paying attention to it. You're like, oh yeah, everything's on camera, so I want to look the best or whatever it could. So it could make you a better driver overall, but it's a deterrent for others. It's going to have all these things that are happening when it comes to just making the ride better overall. But yeah, this is something where sometimes there's issues trying to upload footage to these companies, whether it's Uber or Lyft. So I think either way, it's definitely good to have, and there should be a way where drivers who are unjustly deactivated from a false claim be able to have another means of being able to get back onto the platform and prove their side of things, instead of just getting an email that says, oh, you're deactivated, and then you hit review and it says, no, our decision is final. It shouldn't be like that. It should be where you actually can state your case. If you got to go to an arbitrator or something like that, then so be it. But at that point, that's where things got to happen. But if you had that dash cam footage to begin with, you wouldn't have any issues. It would be right there, and they would look at it. And
yeah, I agree 100%. And we got to go finally with this. Is we got to go in this country. You are innocent until proven guilty. You're not guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Okay. Drivers don't have to do this, and neither should the passengers. I get the privacy issues, but there are privacy issues on the driver's side. There are privacy issues on the passenger side. This could be handled really easily. When there's things like this happening, this needs to be looked at a human as opposed to some AI bot with certain code written in it, so they can willy-nilly, deactivate drivers, because you're playing with people's livelihoods, period. So,
yeah. So either way, one of the things we do recommend, again, display ride dash cameras. One of the nice things about that is it will upload right to the cloud if you need it. You'll be able to get that footage. And with the awesome deal that they have going on with SMTMC viewers is 20% off. So if you enter RSG 20, you're going to get 20% off. So instead of 25 a month, it's 20 a month, which is, a nice $5 savings per month, $20 a month for peace of mind, for all the benefits that you have with the dash camera. It's great. Link is going to be in the description below, so check it out if you're interested, and see what else they have to offer. But I think maybe this is something where we bring it up. Hey, this is where you need to have the dash cam footage. You need to be able to look at it because it doesn't have that issue. I mean, how many times have we seen a story where whoever gets there first is the one who is believed, when in actuality, that might not have been the exact case of what had happened. Maybe it wasn't even a kernel of truth that was going on, or maybe it was such a warped truth, and that's the whole thing. So yeah, this is definitely something you guys should all have a dash camera, no matter what, just because you want to make sure you have everything on record. So if you do need it, it's great beyond just rideshare. There's so much fraud going on. There's so many problems with accidents and things like that, where you can clear yourself when it comes to an accident. It's great for insurance companies and all that good stuff. And it's just good overall. So make sure you check out this dash camera if you don't have one yet. You definitely need to get one. And that leads us into our next story when it comes to what's going on in Uber.
More dash cam. You need dash cam for this shit, bro. You need dash cam for this. I mean, this is gonna be a headache.
You do.
I did an article. It got like really, really, really a lot of traction. Please go check the article about it. Uber Teen, because there is no curfew on Uber Teen. Uber Teen, while the parents are sleeping, the 13-year-old could be in your car at 2 a.m. in the morning. I do not want that. I mean, maybe I'm too conservative when it comes to these things, but I don't want to be this kids or 13, 14, 15-year-olds nanny at 3 a.m. or have a 13 to 15-year-old in my car. I just don't want it. Now,
and then not only that, friends could get in the car too.
Absolutely. Yeah, they got this. Chris, I wrote about it, and I'm still waiting for an answer from Uber. They can turn that into, like, one teen can order a trip and turn that into a pool trip with picking up a whole bunch of his 13 to 15-year-olds. But then supposedly I have to go back to the TOS and make sure that all his friends or her friends are between the ages of 13 and 17. So for that one teen who can override all this and then make sure, and if I don't accept one of these teens in my car, there comes the bad report, there comes my deactivation. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just an overall horrible idea, just horrible idea. But that's me again, whatever. So, senators in Washington, this is a very recent news. They're on top of it. I mean, look, these companies say a lot, that they do a lot for human trafficking. I didn't know this, Chris, but at the back of the story, I think on one of the screenshots, it says 9%. 9, that's a lot. 9%. And somewhere in here, right there. In Polaris 2018 survey of 104 trafficking survivors, 9% of the victims or traffickers use ride-hailing services during their exploitation. Hello. Uber Teen, really? Uber? And this is one thing that Lyft should definitely not touch. Absolutely not. Okay? Now, they have given us the choice to opt out. My choice, when it comes to LA, it's not in LA yet, but it's in 15 cities, I think. You can opt out. It all starts that way with Uber, though. Just like it was with pool trips, you could have opted out. Now it's all commingled, right? So to me, as long as you can opt out, you're given a choice, I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it. But just changing the TOS a little bit, for me, does not make it right. And Washington is looking into it, saying that this could facilitate more of a, human trafficking situations. Especially now that 13 to 17-year-olds are allowed in drivers' cars at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, whatever they want to do, or order food. So, what is your opinion on this? I mean, I think Washington is very serious about this. They want an answer from Uber and Lyft until I think June 26th it was. And I think it's justified.
I think it's good to look in all positions. But the only thing, though, too, is, when it comes down to it, it says the third lowest among transportation modes. So what other transportation modes? They said one was the most common was the trafficker's vehicle. But, I mean, I think you're focusing on part of it. And I think it's good that they're focusing on it. I think that, there's got to be good communication. But the thing is, how do drivers know? Like how most drivers are just going to pick people up, drop people off. And if they don't know the signs, they don't know the cues, they're not aware or anything.
They're not trained for it.
They're not going to know.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't know. And, you know, I mean, is this going to be something where they're going to make you sit through a class and try to figure it out? And it's like, even then, like, who's liable at that point?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good that they're taking the appropriate actions and checking into it, making sure. I think that they need to just get things clarified. And, you know, this is something where instead of being vague, it needs to be very specific. And I think they need to really hammer in, you know, what's acceptable, what's not, because how many drivers in one of these markets are going to know if that is an Uber Teen ride that comes in as an Uber X that you cannot take it because it needs to say Uber X Teen in order for it to be okay. At least in the eyes of Uber, because otherwise, if it just says Uber X, that's still not right or not allowed according to their TOS. So now you're getting into these like intricacies of this is okay at this time, but not okay at this time. And you as the driver have to watch out for that. And you need to know and pay attention to that. So it's a headache. I don't think a lot of drivers just want to deal with.
Yeah,
but
I think
I don't know. I mean, people in chat, what do you think?
You know, 33,000 coders at Uber, right? You know, we've seen the same ping screen for 12 years now, right? So if it's an Uber X, why don't we come with a different color coded, right? Or if it's an Uber Pool, come with a different color. If it's Uber Teen, come with a different color. So we know, because we have 8 to 10 seconds to figure out. It's on a little print there says Uber X or Uber X shared or Uber X Teen, right? Just, I mean, make our lives a little simpler, because we're not given like 10 minutes to figure out what's going on. We could be on a trip and get an Uber X Pool or Uber X shared or Teen trip, which we don't want to do, maybe. And, you know, we should figure that out. I mean, I don't think this is not rocket science. It should easily be done. I honestly, the only thing that I'm worried about Uber Teen, Chris, is like, I really don't want a 13, 14, 15-year-old in my car at 3 a.m. I just don't want it. And that's my opinion, right? And maybe they should have more of a safety guard until, like, if it's, let's say, past midnight, okay, you have to have parental, like, you know, the parent has to okay a text from their phone, because they are getting a text saying that, or your teen is ordering food, or your teen has just ordered a trip, but there is no commensurate reply from the parent to Uber system saying that, okay, it's okay for her to order it or him to order this, right? So maybe like some sort of an approval process, maybe like after midnight, some curfew, something, because I don't think, how many drivers want a 15-year-old girl in their car at 3 a.m? I don't want it. And God forbid something happens. I'm screwed, you know, I don't want it.
And again, you know, when it comes to a he said, she said, who do you think they're going to believe?
Yeah.
So again, another reason why you need to have a dash camera, no matter what. So RSG20 for the display ride dash camera link is in the description below. And it goes right to the cloud. So it's good there. There's a lot of other benefits to it. So check it out. But yeah, definitely whatever you think when it comes to it. So all right, let's move on to our next one. And that is Uber is going to start showing advertisements to everybody now. So
not you,
if you are somebody in chat, have you seen an advertisement yet when you're ordering a ride? Let us know.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't taken an Uber trip last 2 weeks, so I haven't seen one yet, but I'll take one next week, probably going somewhere. And this is only on the passenger app, so don't panic, drivers. This is not in your app. Passengers are going to see it.
To start, they do want to put tablets in the drivers' cars. So are they going to put any extra money in? Oh, yeah, they're going to give you $1 extra per ride. In actuality, it's like 42 cents.
Yeah, exactly. The EV shaving situation. But anyway, right. I think this is brilliant on Uber's part. Okay, I'm not going to deny it. And Lyft is doing the same thing, by the way. They have tablets going on now. And you know, like, they know exactly where you're going. They know you're going to out at night to a bar. I mean, if Budweiser, forget Budweiser, screw Budweiser. If Modelo is, you know, why would Modelo pay Uber to show a Modelo ad to this person that's going to this bar? You know, I mean, they're just going to be like preconditioned to buy a Modelo. I mean,
well,
I think
that's what they said. That's what they said. They have extreme targeting ad
I think it's brilliant.
capabilities because they know where you live.
Brilliant.
They know where you're going.
Yeah.
So they know if you're going out. They know if you're going to the store. They know if you've used the app. They know where you go if you shop at certain stores like Walmart or grocery stores. They
Yeah.
know what you order at those
Yeah.
stores if you decide to do shop and pay or anything like that.
Brilliant.
They know all that information about you, and then who knows what other info they try to get on the phone or what info they may buy or whatever it might be. When it comes to an algorithmic little file that they have on you as a rider. So yeah, they can place extremely targeted ads, which comes at a pretty cost. So it's for them, it's a smart business move. And I don't know. Do you think that this is something that could put them over the top with the advertisements?
Yeah. You know what? I have nothing negative to say. I think this is brilliant. So,
hey, if they put a tablet in my car and they're willing to pay right for that, then I may not have a problem putting a tablet in my car. I don't want to be on the hook if somebody tries to steal it, but who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
At least in my opinion. So
yeah, no,
I mean, right
brilliant.
on the next one, it says, look, we have 2 minutes of your attention. We know where you are. We know where you're going. We know what you have eaten. Boom. There it is. We can use all that to basically target a video ad towards you. 2 minutes is roughly how long Uber estimates an average customer looks at the Uber app on a typical 15-minute long journey. So that's just on their app. On top of that, if they're going to start putting these journey ads into the trip, which is installing the tablets in the seats of select Uber vehicles, that's going to be even more. So, is it going to be something like Gas TV when you turn your Sergio just left. So, but when it comes to Gas TV, when you're going to fill up your car and you take and you're filling up, and all of a sudden that little screen pops up, and it's this little annoying thing of the same exact thing looping on a 2-minute thing. How annoyed are you going to get as a driver having to hear that for 8-10 hours that you may be on the road? I don't know about you, but that would annoy the hell out of me. So hopefully if they're going to do something like Gas TV, they're going to do something where it's like 30 minutes and it doesn't replay every time a passenger gets in the car, because that would just be really annoying. And if they're willing to, share a little bit with showing the money, then I think that's going to be pretty good there. Chat, what do you think? Yes, Sergio had an electric surge, something. He's been having some computer issues apparently all day long. So either way, we're going to keep this going. We got a couple more topics that we're going to go through. More of the funny stuff. So that's pretty much where we're going to be going now. So all the good stuff is coming. But before that, what we are going to do, let me just make sure it's ready to go. We are going to do another giveaway that we're going to give away $25 to. So this time, enter hashtag SMTMC into the chat, and we will be drawing that in a little bit. So let's move on. And Sergio is back. Having a few computer problems there, buddy?
Yeah, my internet today, bro, is driving me, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So hopefully I'll finish it.
Well, either way, we're moving into our other topics. So this is where Barry Henson qualifies for the U.S. Open and is set to go for the U.S. Open, which is there in L.A.
Yeah, it was in my backyard. It was this past weekend. This is not the one. This is the next one.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was.
All right, so here's. I think when is Harry interviewing this guy? I think he was going to interview this guy for the podcast. So here's a 46-year-old. He's a 46-year-old Uber driver, Barry Henson. Now, if you guys know anything about golf, anybody can qualify for the U.S. Open, because the reason it's open is because it's open to qualify for everybody, including me, which is never going to happen. But the point is, this guy was an Uber driver. He's done 3,000 rides. He's got huge. This is a feel-good story, really. And he made it to the Open. It was in my backyard this year, LA Country Club, very private, very high-end club in Beverly Hills area. and he did not make the cut, meaning he played the first 2 days. So everybody plays the first 2 days, and then you have to have a certain score to continue playing to the last 2 days, which was Saturday and Sunday. And we had great weather for golf, and it was, I'm sure, great competition. I did not go to the event because I don't like the LA Country Club for what they stand, but that's a different story. He's 43 years old, you know. He's done his dues on Uber, and Uber got a kick out of this. Everybody at Uber started tweeting this. He was ranked 444th in the world, and sure enough, he made it to the U.S. Open. You know, golf's longest day, which is there's a qualifying stage. The 10,187 people all over the country competed for 4 available spots. 4 out of 10,187 open qualifiers made it to the U.S. Open with the pros. And, you know, he drove Uber and made some money and, you know, worked on his game and made it to the U.S. Open. Hats off. Hats off to Mr. I'm getting cut off again. Mr. Henson. Yeah. So it's a feel-good story. You know, there it is. This guy worked Uber, practiced his heart out at his spare time, got his game going, and made it to the U.S. Open. It's a great story. So, and when Harry interviews him, I'm going to intently listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say when it comes to it. But yeah, it's pretty cool when you see something like that happen. So I mean, hey, he didn't make the cut, but maybe next year. When things
once
happen.
you make it to the US Open, what happens is that, Chris, you will get like for other tournaments, you will get invitations to play at other tournaments, so he will have chances to, you know, to do stuff. So great.
Yeah. Well, not only that, for those who don't watch golf and kind of want a little knowledge on what it is when it comes to the Open, check out Happy Gilmore, starring Adam Sandler, and old school movie. Really funny, still holds up
movie,
after all this time, and absolutely hilarious. He turns the golf game upside down for those who haven't watched it. But definitely go and watch it if you haven't. It's hilarious. So,
so for the whole LA drivers, you guys should have killed it this 4 days. It was a huge event, LA drivers. I was looking at the surge. That thing was blowing up right there. Even with the gray clouds were gone. So let me tell you something, you know. It's good.
Oh, I believe it, with all the people that were there and needed to go. I mean, what did they say? 10,000 entries. So, and
that's just that. I think
60,000.
I think 60,000 per day were there as spectators. So hey,
yeah, wow. Yeah. Well, either way, pretty crazy. But talking about another driver who is using Uber and Lyft and other apps to be able to pursue their dreams, and something they may not have thought about before, but are trying to do that now, is actually our last month's Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award winner.
Yes.
That interview will be coming out not this week, but next week. So stay tuned for that. Janice from North Carolina. Congrats, Janice, and shout out to Janice right now. Great interview. I was watching that earlier. But yeah, great interview. And one of the things that she's doing is she is going into virtual game and, you know, making 3D mesh and art and, you know, things for video games and virtual games and stuff like that, virtual reality. So there's going to be a big push, especially with this new Apple goggle crap that's going on for $3,500 if you want to have an augmented reality. So either way, but we wanted to show this. We did post it on our community tab a couple of days ago, but pretty interesting there. So thank you, Janice, for making us laugh and enjoy that. So it's Sergio, Chris, and Harry, which is pretty fun. There goes Sergio again. He couldn't handle it. He's in the video game now. But yeah, Janice, thank you very much for that. That was pretty cool to see when it comes down to it. Moving on to the next thing. We're going to be talking another fake name. Again, this has been an issue. So I don't know what's going on. Sasha, you came on, interviewed with Sergio, talking about how you were going to change these fake names, and yet they're still happening. So Foreign, I don't believe that is a name, but I don't know why that would be or not. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what's going on there. But again, when it comes to these fake names, Uber, if you're going to do something about it, please do something about it. You really need to. You know,
Oh, by
every
the way,
week
who
we're getting
won?
these different ones still
Who
on.
won, Chris?
We didn't do it
I
yet.
wasn't here.
We
Oh,
didn't
you
do it
didn't
yet.
go, thank God.
No, yet. Not
Okay.
yet. So yeah, that's been an issue. If you got some of these screenshots when it comes to what's going on
Send it to me.
in the crazy ones with these names and the fake names and all that good stuff, send it to Sergio. So
Look at this
gum.
guy. He's not, foreign and 383 on top of that. I go like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Mr. Consul Sachin, please, Sachin, if you're watching this, I know every week we put a couple of them up. This needs to get fixed, man. This is 6 months now.
I don't care if the dude's. I don't care if. I mean, honestly, I'm going to say the dude is probably foreign, or the girl is probably foreign, and probably hard to understand them. So they probably get low ratings because of that. Unfortunately, I don't know if that 383 is true or not. If they're really problematic or not. But I mean, it's definitely something that they're probably waiting extra long for a ride to come in.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, that's foreign. I mean, whatever. So and then remember last week we did this? There was Waymo last week.
Yeah, we were talking about those taxi cabs.
Yeah,
well, the cruise was like sideways in the street by the excavator that was right there.
Yeah.
And here's another cruise robotaxi hitting dogs now. Come on.
Dogs remember last week? Last week it was a Waymo. Killed a dog.
Yep.
This week is a cruise. Killed a dog. So people, if you're in San Francisco or wherever these things are, Arizona, I think, has these things. LA is getting them here and there. If you see one of these things, put your dog on a leash, because this dog was not on a leash. And the poor dog ran out and boom, dead dog. So if you don't want your dog to die, if you see one of these autonomous things, get the heck away from it. I feel bad for the dog. Right. I feel bad for the owner, obviously. But, Chris, the dog was not on a leash, bro. So I don't know.
All right. Well, I got a couple of fun screenshots coming up right now. So let's look at this. The first screenshot you see there. Ooh, gotta love that. 1 hour, 10 minutes, or an 80-mile trip. For the trip, that doesn't include the 2.2-mile pickup. Guess what? $36.30 for an 80-mile trip. That's less than 50 cents a mile right there. Whew. And that doesn't even include the time. That's just less than 50 cents per mile.
Yeah.
So that's a definite decline now. Then you got the screenshot in the middle, which is a Uber Eats delivery. Look at that. 48 minutes they're expecting for 17 miles, 17.8 miles, and it's $6.04. Oh, yes. And then look at that last one. This is an Uber Pet for 330 miles, which is going to take you 5 hours and 27 minutes just traveling. And you're only going to make $209.95. And you know for damn sure that a dog has to go to the bathroom within 5 hours and 27 minutes.
No. No, thank you.
Hashtag declined. So those were a couple of the crazy ones that I came across when it comes to some of the screenshots that I saw. It's just like, you got to be kidding. Yeah, exactly. Not only that, it's 5 hours back. So no thanks. Pass.
Yep. Hard pass.
I came across this. I thought this was hilarious. No matter how much air I put in, it won't go to 100. Yeah. Please do not do this.
See, Donnie, they cannot get to 100, Donnie.
Look at, you can't get 100% here. Look at your PSI. It does not go to 100. Look at your tire. If you got to fill up your tire, it goes to a maximum pressure, and it says on your tire, usually like 45, 40 PSI. So don't hit maximum. You want to go lower than that by a little bit. So yeah, I saw that and I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh my God, this is great.
100. Yeah, Donnie. There you go. Yeah, this he wouldn't know when it hit 100, when it blows up in his face. That's what he would know.
I'm surprised it didn't blow up at that point. Jesus.
Oh,
that's over double the maximum pressure that's allowed. That is like literally about getting ready to explode. You hit a pothole, pop.
Yeah,
it's blowing. So and I'm surprised that the tire didn't blow out on the side or something at least. But damn. Whew.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
saw that and I'm like, I was laughing my ass off. I showed my wife this and she's like, huh? And I'm like, and then she looked at it. She's like, oh my God, who the hell would do that? So, all right. And then a couple of comments that we got. Gary, I don't think you're in here, but Gary, if you're watching the replay on this, or if somebody's gonna, tweet at Gary or something, we need an app that provides the old fare based on time and distance in real time. Yep. I think that I saw that and I'm like, dude, that is exactly what we need. We need that. And that will show you exactly what's going on. So Gary, you got the one side that is showing you exactly when it comes to the breakdown for that trip that's coming in. But I want to see what it was on the other side. What was it based on our old time and mileage? So we can actually see the comparison between the two. Is it really getting more when it comes to these short trips? I mean, clearly they're not doing any better when it comes to a long trip.
But then, I think that's a great idea. But then, as you know, our buddy Jeff says, circle of control, circle of influence. If it shows it, you'll be too pissed off to keep driving.
Well, maybe that'll help boost the surge. Maybe that'll help boost the bonuses because the demand's still there.
That may end the AFU altogether. You know what I mean? That may work for the AFU members. Yeah.
It could. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, hit anybody watching. Rick, I know you're right. I just saw you make a comment. I know you watch Gary and Steve's channel, so we'll have to put that to them. So maybe. That was a pretty interesting comment. I thought that was really good. When I came down to it, I'm like, that would be perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. I want to know the exact time and distance when it comes to it, at least the estimated time based on what's there. Clearly, it would change based on the actual time and distance. But
I agree.
I think that's another comparison, which I know we're going to be talking about, but screenshots, take the screenshot of the request coming in and then take the screenshot of what you drove so you can actually see what the true distance is and see, are they accurate or not? So,
Jeff is feeling better. He goes, AFU is here to stay.
Oh boy. All right. Well, here's another comment. This was from last week's show. It says, alert, more fuckery on the Lyft driver. I'm sorry. Hold on. For the people who complain about the swearing, I apologize. More on the Lyft driver app. I was in a streak zone, $9 for 3 rides in Los Angeles yesterday. Also, and this is an LA driver. So, hey, wakey. Get hold of Sergio.
Yeah.
Also had a $1.50 bonus on the next ride. While I waited for my scheduled ride, also in the streak zone during the streak time, when I finally got matched with my scheduled ride, the $1.50 bonus was not included and the streak bonus did not apply. WTF. So I canceled. I thought it might be a glitch, so I booked another scheduled ride within the streak zone area and time. When I got matched soon after the glitch scheduled ride, again, the streak bonus did not apply. Normally, the ride details would show ride 1 of 3. But both times this did not appear for the second scheduled rides.
Well, after you finish the trip, it will say that. Not before. After you finish, you will say that. Don't worry about the scheduled trips. Lyft will throw you all the scheduled trips within a streak just to make your life harder, because in the old days, we would just set a DF and do 3 shorties and take their money. In fact, start another streak within the same hour. So after the trip ends, it will say it. Don't worry about it. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Before.
I mean, ride 1 of 3 is the first trip. So, I mean, he's got a point there when it says normally when it does. But both times it didn't appear for the 2 scheduled rides. So is this more incompetent software code, or is this more? The app is full of pitfalls you have to avoid. Wow. And if you're trying to make money rather than lose money, like the never-ending 262 minimum pay rides. I thought
those are horrible, man.
262 and minimum. Holy crap!
It is 262 still.
How 262 in LA, in California? How?
We got to talk to Risher about that too. That just reminded me. 262.
Holy Jesus,
we're in 2023. 2023.
How is that going to pay for anything? Yeah, I think a taxi cab is $350 just to start.
No, it's $5 or something just to drop the meter, bro. This is unbelievable. 262, and the Uber is, by the way, Uber is $327. They're not that much better, so you know.
Yeah. By the way, the lowest surge bonus dropped from $2 to $125. How is this a 10% pay increase? Don't even get me started in the unachievable ride challenges, which must be completed from Monday to Thursday, 4 days only. You got to take as many money losing rides as possible to achieve these 4-day bonuses. Well, you can always select. You don't have to select the top tier. You can select, a different one that's going to be more attainable. Usually, there's not even a ride challenge for the weekends. More.
Okay, wakey.
All right, so there's no more swearing. Okay, are you happy?
Yeah. Well, wakey. You're in LA, so shoot me an email, Sergio@therisherguy.com. Next time, maybe I'm doing a few trips at LAX or something. I'll try to reach out to you. So there you go.
Yep. Here's another one. This was from our is Uber losing money on you? Seriously annoyed. Sorry, Tiffany. Okay. Things have been slow here in Jacksonville. I decided to drive some late nights to catch some surge. Last night, I pushed myself to stay out until the late morning. Started surging about 1:30 in the morning. Accepted a ride for $14 after declining 2 other $5 and $6 offers with surge. Ride was 14 miles with surge for $14. I was sure it was a mistake. Asked the rider how much they paid. It was $58.99. They only gave me 14. The area was beaming red, and this is the amount you give. I was so furious, I logged out to reach support. It gave me a response that they would add $3 as courtesy, but it was correct. How? I sent an additional message, which they responded that there are technical issues that they are preventing them from looking at it, but they will. I feel that this is part of the surge mystery that they are not showing the dollar amounts. I would say that I'm highly disappointed. I feel this is deceptive and makes me not want to drive for them. I have screenshots of the trip. So yeah, that's insane what's going on when it comes down to it. Sergio just left. I don't know what's going on, Serge. But we're gonna be wrapping up in just a few moments. So we're gonna do our giveaway in just a minute. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? Have you been seeing something like this where it's coming in with the surge issues like this, where they're talking about technical issues that are preventing them from looking at it? I've never heard of that one. But either way, yeah, this is just a couple of things that we've been noticing when it comes down to it. Yeah, another surge strike. You're right. William, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. What's the lowest fares before rates kicked in? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, what's before? I don't know. It was like William re-asked, or what do you mean there? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Maybe Sergio knows. Oh, dang it. Oh, there he is.
Bro, let me tell you something.
What happened?
What, you got the winner? Is it done?
No. This is what William put. We're going to do the giveaway in just a moment. But that's
the lowest fares before rates kicked in. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. I mean,
on Uber Eats or on rideshare? Well, in LA is $262 and $327 at the moment for minimum fare. On food delivery, I've seen as low as $1.50 now on add-ons. $1.50, Chris.
Jesus.
$1.50. Okay.
I've seen a couple of ones where they're just dollars.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, how does that make sense?
I sure hope this shit doesn't happen when Risher is on. My internet is like garbage. I'm like, hell, yeah. But hey, people.
Well, either way,
Risher is showing up, so you guys.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So we're excited about that. But either way, we got our hashtag SMTMC for another giveaway, which we're going to do right now. 267 was the lowest ride you've seen. Whoa.
Wow. When is that, Aram? We gotta eat, bro. We gotta get together. I'm calling you this week. As long as it's not done, I'm okay with it. Rami.
Congratulations, the winner.
Email me at Sergio@therideshareguy.com, please. No whammy.
Congratulations.
I like Professor. See, you're behaving yourself, Professor. Now, I call him Professor because he's my troll on Twitter. Doc Defenestrator calls him Professor, so I go like, okay, whatever. Not that professor, not the other professor, this professor. Rami, congrats, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Caro, I got your cell number. We're definitely going to hook up before I go to the tournament this weekend. I have to go eat.
All right. Well, what do we got for him next week? Do you got anything? I know we got a couple of things, but can you see it yet or no?
I'm going to fix my internet first.
Well, yeah, I definitely got to fix that. But either way.
No, we a lot of people, a lot of like questions are coming on this Rides, WRIDZ, so new rideshare company that's spreading in the Midwest and the East. People want to know about this company. So I'm kind of thinking we should do maybe who is the CEO of that company, get him out here. Or the other thing is for people who have this, I know, Aram, you know how busy I am, bro, but I keep my promises, don't worry. And then the other thing is Solo is spreading into California now with their guarantee program. So we may be having the CEO of Solo, Bryce Bennett, on. So we have some stuff working out. We always have it. But if Risher says next week, Serge, I'm like, okay, yes, sir.
Well, I mean, a couple of good things too is there's some things that are like behind the scenes that are about to come and happen, and so I'm not sure what we're able to say or not say. So he's got another one. He said rates on rideshare around 2017 before the change. Yeah, we did the rates. We got them.
Oh.
I mean, you could probably look them up on what the hell
I
is
have
it
the
on
rates.
Reddit? That's where we got.
I have my city rates from 2017. Okay, actually 2016 when I first started. My rates in LA, time and distance, were $1.40 a mile and 38 cents a minute. Okay, before upfront fares.
How did they go down that much?
Yeah, before upfront fares, Chris, we were at 60 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute.
How does that even make sense? How does it go down that much?
Over 50%.
It's insane. That's insane.
Yep.
Damn.
And Uber says, you'll be busier. You'll drive more and you'll make more. I'm like, how's that math work out? If the rate is 50% less, I have to work 100% more to make the same money. Figure it out. I don't know.
How do you handle more and more people asking drivers to drive them further than their location without adding a new stop?
Yeah, I
say
them,
put it in the app. Otherwise, I drive you where you got to go.
Yeah, that's it. Under the contract, the insurance only pays insurance. Uber's insurance, liability insurance, covers this distance that you ordered. I'm not driving another foot unless you edit the information in your own app. Please, people, do not do that, because in that 1 mile extra that they don't edit in their destination address, you get in a crash, you are screwed. That liability insurance is not going to cover you. So make sure they change the address in their app. But no freebies in my book. How about you, Chris? You do freebies, bro? I don't do freebies.
Nope. My time, my money. Don't be screwing with either of them.
Yep. We had some start
my rates. I don't remember. So I started driving in 2016 as well in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I originally started. And I can't remember what the rates were. It was like $1.35 or something like that a mile too. It was probably pretty close to the same as what you were doing, Serge. After the fact, Uber in my market before upfront fares was 67 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute. Lyft, it was 71 cents a mile, and I think it was 19 cents a minute before upfront fare change. So, yeah, crazy. All right. Yep. We are going to get out of here. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you check out tomorrow's Money Hungry live here on the Rideshare Guy with Kim and Zach. And Sergio, I guess, is left the building early. He is going to say goodbye as well, too. But with that being said, hope you guys have a great day. Have a great week. Go out there, make that money. And we did start a couple of questions. So we're going to put that into some more things where we can talk about them a little bit more. One of them was like a step-by-step guide on how to cherry pick. So we'll do that. Again, it's going to be up to what you want, but we'll kind of put the basics together. We'll also do the labor relations board ruling when we have a little bit more information on that. But we'll definitely be talking about that and covering that. And then, somebody had mentioned that we need to add have two riders sit next to each other and request a ride and see if the fare is the same. We did that in Chicago. It was roughly the exact same for everybody. There could have been a few, cent changes, and that was really about it. So we did do it on the passenger app just to see what was going on. And nothing was out of the realm of crazy. We actually did it where we would order a ride, have it come and see like what the differences between the two were. So it wasn't too bad when it came down to it. When somebody ordered to the airport, they're like, why is it, $25 to go to the airport and they're only giving me $12? Well, there's a $10 airport fee when it comes to Chicago. So take $10 off. And it's like, okay, that's really not too bad when it comes down to it. So, yeah. So those are a couple of things there. But yeah, we'll definitely make those into segments for a couple of the other things. So appreciate that. And chat, we do keep an eye on it. Sometimes we don't always get to the chat, but we do want to make sure. So
Joe,
that being said,
Joe is my man in Chicago right here. Joe Negrao, you are my man, and we're gonna actually, I'm gonna put Joe on one of our episodes as a guest because he has so much great information. He has such great work, and he's part of the mile and time shaving story. Yeah, I think he does amazing work. So whatever I ask him, bro, he sends it to me. It was like, God, just godsend. So thanks, Joe. Thanks much, buddy. So we gave the
all
money.
right.
My internet is shit.
Hold on, your internet is.
Oh, I don't. I need. You know what? You know who has the best? Who was it that had the best sound effects? I was watching somebody. Yeah. No, it wasn't you.
No.
Somebody had the best sound effects. I don't know who.
Yes.
Oh, you know who has it? The best sound
here.
effect? Luis from Delivery TV.
Oh, okay.
Great, unbelievable. He did the Money Hungry, right, with the kids.
Yeah,
and amazing sound effects, bro. I was like, wow, Chris needs one of those. There you go. So,
well, I mean, can he change his voice on cue like I can?
That you can.
No, I don't think so. There, do you, honey?
Oh, that's too bad.
Anyway,
all right. Well, with that being said, have a good rest of your night, everybody. We went a little too long, but we enjoy hanging out with you.
Problems.
See you guys.